Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. I'm shooting a TV show here. I was just wondering if you want to do a quick interview with us. I'm standing here with the resident gardener, Javier Ortega. Javier, have you ever noticed anything strange around the building?
No, not really. What do you mean?
Well, have you heard any weird noises or seen any ghostly activity?
I started working here.
Just started working. That's great. TC, can you just cut for a second? Okay, how about you make something up for the camera? Pretend you saw something. Just...
I gotta got to work.
Okay, real quick. Wait. No. Just wait. Do we have any of the petty cash left? Yeah. I'm sure. Hey, Javier, that was $20, Sam. I'm standing here with the resident gardener, Javier Ortega. Javier, have you ever seen anything strange in the past 10 years of working here?
Yeah, I saw a ghost over here. It was really scary.
A ghost on the exterior of the building. Unbelievable. This is really a paranormal hotspot unlike anything we have ever shot at before.
Three cinephiles have come together to bring you strong opinions, controversial statements, epic battles, and plenty of fun. Introducing our host, the man who watches 52 movies a week, drinks 52 beers a movie, loves women but hates the woman. From the foreign land of Canada, our host, Mood 616. He is widely known as the man who talks too much. His worst enemies are Postmaster P and Pee Wee Herman. He said Hellraiser was overrated and Leprechaun Origins wouldn't suck. He's the full-blooded half-Mexican, JP. Finally, we have the man who doesn't talk enough. He is best friends with Sean S. Cunningham. His favorite horror movie is Gummo. He is your favorite Jew and mine, Jeremy. Together they are known for extending a helping hand to vampircons everywhere. They are the 22 shots of moods and horror.
Yes, y'all, it's going down right now. Episode 111 of the 22 Shots of Moods and Horror podcast is coming at you live. I am your host, Moods. Yeah. And of course, I got the homeboy JP on my left, and we got the little boy on my right, Jeremy the Jew. What's going on, homies?
Yo, dog, what up? Back in the saddle once again for another 22 shots. We're just cranking these babies out. Episode 111.
Cranking them out is definitely correct. And
it's crazy. It's been 11 episodes since number 100.
And if you notice, I stayed away from a long-ass intro because Jeremy's very impatient tonight.
Oh, go
And
fuck
so we just
yourself.
need to get this ball rolling. So I said, fuck it.
I wanted to hear what I was going to be, a paranormal searcher or some retarded thing that you would fucking come up with. I love your punchline. I was just waiting for it.
No, I thought I would just get right into it tonight. Fuck it.
Dude, you know what, man? We are covering Grave Encounters 1 and 2. I feel like these films are both falsely advertised because I didn't see any graves at all that they encountered. See what I did there? That's a Brandon joke.
That's a good observation is what that is.
Brandon's jokes. Like, if he was on the show, he would use that joke.
Guess they didn't encounter any graves. Yeah. Well, no.
Definitely no graves. Definitely no graves.
At the end of part 2, I thought there was a grave, but no, there isn't.
So this show was just kind of thrown together, honestly. I think it was like Jeremy's idea to cover these films. I honestly didn't know much about him and honestly have avoided them for years because they looked like those classic, like if you would look at the Grave Encounters cover, well, not the first one, but definitely the second one. It looks like every like ghostly, paranormal, found footage thing in the DVD releases that we cover every week. And it's
go ahead.
Go ahead.
I've talked about the movies dozens of times on the show, bro.
But for some reason, I get those two movies confused with The Messengers.
Like literally, this is
those as well.
This is still.
I always thought that you were just avoiding the films because they were Canadian.
No. I mean, I'm not saying that I like avoided them as if like they were in my face and I was like, no, I don't want to watch this. I just mean I didn't seek them out to see.
Yeah,
that's kind of what I meant by that. But I did pick up the second one recently. Is the first one out of print?
No. You get it for like $13 or something.
Well, I think it actually is out of print. It doesn't go for that much money though.
Yeah, I don't know. 13 for a DVD seems like a lot to me. It's
$1.50 for me, bro.
Willing to pay. But yeah, so I'm really excited to talk about these films tonight, but we got a lot of other stuff to get to too. First of all, we do want to depending on when this airs, we do want to, send our
condolences
and everything to those fighting in Texas for not dying.
Thanks everybody.
I guess there's a hurricane, according to Jeremy, and the rest of the world. I don't watch the news.
Do you believe this, Mongol? Everybody, do you believe this motherfucking Mexican? The worst hurricane since Katrina, and he had no idea what the fuck it was. Like,
man,
seriously, dude.
Seriously,
Houston
insane.
got 50.
Dude, I remember Katrina being extremely terrible. Is it that scale?
Yeah. Dude, Houston got
really
5 inches of rain in 2 days.
What was Jason Lloyd okay?
Yeah, he told me last night he was okay.
Is it affecting him at all?
Said he's like on the back end of it, so it didn't fuck him up too bad. But like, Houston's like almost completely underwater.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. The water was like up to the top of the street lights. That's some serious flooding.
Insane.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Fucking
Where did it come from?
The Gulf of Mexico.
Hurricane season started a little bit early, it seems like, this year.
I know, it's only the end of August.
Yeah, it usually doesn't
And
start until September.
They usually don't get hit that bad either. Texas, they got like a whole year's of rain in 2 days.
So to everybody out in Texas, try to stay safe, and we wish you luck out there, man, because that looked pretty shitty, man. Pretty shitty.
I don't really know a ton of people from Texas, honestly. I know that we have listeners and friends all over, but in terms of ones that we talk to regularly, I think Jason's like the only dude that I talk to from Texas.
I had a buddy that went to school down there, but he no longer lives down there. But yeah, really, I don't know. It's weird. It's a big state, second biggest state.
My friend's son, the one that actually, I told you guys before the show about my car, the one that actually sold me that car, he's actually moving to Texas like next week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Good timing. Did he bring in his canoe?
I don't know. I don't know what part he's going to. Texas is a big state, man. I'm sure it can't be everywhere.
No. Those motherfuckers have Jack in the Box, those lucky mofos.
Jack in the Box good?
Oh, their tacos are so fucking good. I love Jack in the Box tacos.
Man, we used to cross the border down into Washington just to go to Jack in the Box. Border Control would actually laugh at us, like, "What are you guys crossing the border for?"
Jack
and I kind of chuckle and I go to go to Jack in the Box. He'd be like, "No, seriously, why are you going across?" I'm like, "No, seriously, we'll be back in 20 minutes."
We like Jack in the Box.
Why you guys cross the border? Because me and my uncle that I met online are going to a horror convention, so we have to cross it.
Yeah, there you go, man.
Yeah, so
good stuff.
Everybody be safe in Texas. We wish you guys the best of safety and things like that. Another thing that we wanted to mention, this will be the last show before September. Yep. So it'll post this week before September. We will do that drawing for Phenomena and Creepers on the next show. I think that actually did get some more people to jump on board with the Patreon because since the last show, we've gotten 4 more Patreon supporters.
I haven't even looked. Really?
Trin pledged $6. Thank you, Trin. Andrew Schroyer pledged $5. Thank you, Andrew. We know Andrew. He guessed it on the show. Check out the Woodsboro Bros. Terry Wolf pledged $3. Thank you, homie. Welcome to the Hall of Homies, all you guys. And Derek Liniger pledged $6. Thank you, homie.
Fucking Hall of Homies.
So September is looking very, very busy in terms of what we got for Patreon. So thank you guys.
And Hall of Fuckers is so creative.
Hey man, I came up with the Hall of, so I'm allowed to.
Yeah.
Really? You're taking credit for the Hall of? Okay.
Man, I came up with.
I'll give you this one.
And look at these homos on the Cinema Attack podcast stealing my fucking idea too. Don't they have a Hall of Pain? Those fucking posers. Fucking
it's the Hall of Shame, man.
Yeah. Whatever. It's close enough.
Yeah.
Fucking dicks.
Well, I think it's cool that more people do it because it's a cool little system. You know what I mean? So one thing that I will say is with the Patreon, we had a person ask today, which I thought was so cool. They asked about disturbing cinema, and this is something that me and Moods and the hipster Kyle did a long time ago, over a year ago, and it was an idea that I eventually wanted to turn into like, 6 or so episodes per season, do like one season every 6 months or something like that of shows. And I still to this day think it's one of our better reviews. And we covered Martyrs, and somebody had checked it out and like found our page and stuff and was like, hey, whatever happened to that, and asked us about it and stuff. So I mentioned that we were considering bringing it back for a Patreon perk, maybe like one a month if somebody donates a specific amount of money, which, by the way, our domain is expiring next month, and the actual website is expiring the month after, I think. So good thing we have the Patreon going, because we will be able to afford that re-up on those things. But we still need to. I still need to add the DVD commentary option. I need somebody who's more intelligent than me in grammar, like Jeremy, to sit down with me and explain everything and how it applies to each perk, because it is a little confusing if you didn't listen to the show where I explain it on the show. It can be a little. It doesn't have all the information on the actual website, the Patreon site. So we do need to like kind of spell it out for everybody a little bit more, so nobody gets confused and things like that. People, if you have any questions about it, just ask me and I'll explain it. So yeah, that's Patreon. Next month, I could tell you that one of the things that I will be giving away is a copy of the Phantasm DVD collection, all 5 Phantasms on DVD. That Blu-ray set seems to be out of print, but they are releasing a DVD version of it. So if you haven't upgraded to Blu-ray yet and you're interested, that will be something we will be giving away for.
I think Luis is going to be all over this shit.
Yeah, for I guess technically it's October's Patreon. It's weird how it works. It's technically everybody who supported in August will get charged on the 1st of September, but we won't cover the things until September. But it's like you can't say it's for September because then people will be doing it in September. It's kind of confusing. But yeah, so
yeah, if you pledge, it's basically for the next month.
Correct.
In simple terms.
So I'll be giving away 2 copies of that for September. So that's pretty cool.
Hey, Moods, what's up with the Blue Jays?
Blew another one tonight, man. Fucking Christ.
2-10 over the last 12 games.
Considering the 10 games previous to that, we were 10-2. It's fucking ridiculous, man. Streaky team. Yeah, I don't really. That's exactly what I was actually pointing out right before we started tonight. When I was like, fucking hell, lost 6-5. Bullshit.
All right, now moving on to something that doesn't suck.
Well, then it should not involve you talking then.
See, I did a double joke there because the Blue Jays sucked tonight and baseball sucks all the time. So see what I did there?
Better than MMA.
I am speaking for the listeners who do not want to hear about baseball.
Well, I'm actually quite surprised you haven't brought up the fucking fight yet.
No, don't do it, Moods. No, come on, man.
I've been arguing with people all day.
Now we're going to be here for 2 hours.
I will not say anything besides, listen, I thought it was a great fight. It was very exciting. Boxing as a whole, I think, is a boring fucking sport, man. But every once in a while, when you have these high-profile guys fighting, and the fight actually lives up to it, unlike Mayweather-Pacquiao, it can be a fantastic time. I thought Conor McGregor did a very good job considering he was 0-0 and only trained boxing for 6 months, essentially. And he went against the greatest of all time. I thought he could have won had he not gassed, or had he had a better gas tank in general. That seems to be his biggest detriment to him. And Floyd controlled that fight. He did. He essentially let Conor gas himself out. It was calculated. It was planned. I'm aware of that. But I do think that Conor did way better than he had any credit or any deserving nature to do.
It kind of blew my mind how many people didn't realize, Mayweather. He even explained it in the post game or post fight, but I mean, I even said when we were watching the fight, I said, this is all planned. I mean, they're like, "Oh, McGregor's won the first 3 rounds." I said, "Big fucking deal. This is all planned, man. He's gonna come out in probably the 6th or 7th round when McGregor has no energy left, and he's gonna start fucking fighting." And he did.
See, I said while watching it, I said, okay, Conor is winning these rounds. He is not going to win a decision. One, because boxing judges are completely delusional to give him 1 round out of those first 4 is insane to me. I can't. It's a disgrace against the sport, honestly. It pissed me off so bad when I seen that because it's a lie. It is not true. You cannot say that Conor did not win at least 3 out of those first 4, and they gave him 1. He outlanded him in all 4 of those rounds. So how?
Well, I think everybody
can you say that the other person.
I didn't look at the official card, but that's crazy because I think every other card that was shown had McGregor win the first 3 rounds, hands down.
No, only one card had him winning 3 rounds.
That was the judge. That was the official judges' cards, though.
Yeah, the official judges' cards only had one person give him, I think, 3 rounds, and the other
I'm
two
talking
gave
about
him
the unofficial. You know, the announcer cards.
Oh yeah, the unofficial card.
Everybody
was
had
the first
it, like,
4 round. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and we won't talk about this too much, obviously, because this is not the MMA cast.
I'm glad it was a decent fight. That's what it all came down for me. I had a fun time that night, and nobody left disappointed. We're like, wow, we got what
that was the greatest Floyd Mayweather fight of all time. Like, at least in the past 5 years, 10 years.
Fuck out of here! Greatest Floyd fight ever.
What's the greatest Floyd fight? The victory.
I don't know, but it wasn't that one.
Dude, have you watched any of Floyd Mayweather's fights?
I remember watching Floyd way back in the day, in the early 2000s and stuff. When
they're
he was
pretty damn boring.
He fucking broke his wrist and he still beat the dude's ass.
Who?
Floyd broke his wrist during the middle of a fight and he still fucking beat the guy's ass.
Yeah, I mean, that happens all the time in MMA. People break their arms and win fights. Forrest Griffin, I think Uriah Faber broke both of his arms and won and I don't know if he won the fight, but he kept fighting. But yeah, I mean, Floyd is, at boxing, the greatest of all time. I think that it's hard to dispute that. I mean, you have guys like Muhammad Ali and stuff like that, and Mike Tyson who are in the conversation. But I honestly think it's Floyd just because he's been very dominant in the way that he fights. My biggest pet peeve with this whole thing is when people start saying Conor got his ass beat and stuff, and I'm like, you do realize that this is in a sport where you're only allowed to punch straight, and that's it. You're only allowed to punch, and in Conor's sport, he would literally kill Floyd Mayweather. So let's tone down the ass beating and got punked.
I didn't say he got his ass kicked. All I said is that you're delusional that you thought that McGregor could have beat Floyd Mayweather.
It's not delusional when Conor hits very hard. All it would have took was one clean shot to knock Mayweather out. So yes, I'm by the belief that anything can happen in a fight, and one punch knockdowns happen all the time. Like you look back at some of the most historic upsets, and it always is a lucky shot or a good shot or whatever that causes it. And if you don't think that, Buster Douglas, exactly. That's one of the best examples ever. But St. Pierre and Matt Serra as well. If you think that somebody can't win a fight who's an elite fighter and a heavy puncher, then you, my friend, are retarded. Just saying.
But we already know I'm retarded.
Okay, so
can we move on? This isn't the MMA cast.
Absolutely, yeah.
Thanks, Mooj, you dick. Fucking 25-minute conversation on fucking McGregor and Floyd.
That is not true.
That was about
we haven't even recorded
3
minutes.
minutes. That was about 3 minutes.
Oh, 3 minutes, my ass.
Okay. All right. Well, let's stomp this intro here and let's get into some news. Do we got lots?
We do not have a lot, but I figured we would start on a downer.
Yeah.
So it's kind of an awkward situation considering we kind of recently have talked a little smack on Tobe Hooper, but
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Of course, Texas Chainsaw Massacre is his best known film, and I still like the conversation of is he or is he not a master of horror, because Jeremy said no. I was kind of like, I don't know, I would need to define master horror a little bit more, but unfortunately Tobe Hooper has passed away at the age of, does anybody know the age? I'm sorry here.
I think he was 74.
74, 75, something like that.
Was he 74?
74.
1974 was when Chainsaw came out.
Yep.
Ooh, that's kind of eerie.
Yeah,
Spooky.
so it's very odd that this happened. We lost, like, I'm to the point, guys, where I really want to do a show towards the end of the year or at the beginning of every year where we actually have like a Hall of Fame, contributor induction where we talk about we pick maybe 4 or 5 people. It could be anybody from like Vincent Price to Wes Craven to Lucio Fulci, and we do 4 a year, and we just talk about them and talk about what their films meant to us, what their legacy is, their filmography, stuff like that. I've wanted to do it since I think our first season of shows, and we just never really put that into motion. But I think it's time, man. I mean, these guys are dying like crazy, and
dropping like flies.
I really want to talk about them, and I feel like every time that one of them dies, we mention it on the show, but we don't really get into what that person has done for the genre and things like that. And George was a huge loss. What's that?
Carpenter's the last one. Craven's gone.
Well, you got Dario still too.
Romero's gone. Hooper's gone.
Yeah, there's not.
I mean, in terms of American filmmakers, the ones that you always heard about from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, yeah, Craven, Carpenter, Hooper, Romero. Those were the guys.
John Landis is still alive.
I was going to say Landis. I was thinking that.
It's always a joke with us.
but yeah. We all know that it's eventually going to happen with Carpenter and Dario Argento as well. But really, I mean, when you talk about the people who have those mile-long filmographies from the 80s and 70s and the 90s to a certain extent, really the last 2 big ones are Argento and Carpenter.
Mm-hmm.
It's scary.
Was Hooper's last film The Gin?
I believe so, yeah.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
Well, I mean, dude,
what a shitty way to go out.
Well,
those films
let's be
definitely
honest.
had some production problems and things like that. But, I mean, it's one of those things where, do you really know what? I mean, do you really know what you're doing when you're that old? You know what I mean? Like,
I don't think he was delusional, but
no, I mean, 74. in terms of the way that the industry has changed.
Yeah.
It passes you by, you don't have the drive and the hunger that you did when you were younger.
I mean, you can tell though. You can really, really tell. I mean, the last couple films that Hooper did. I mean, I never saw Gin, but I can speak. Well, we can all speak on the Masters of Horror episodes, which weren't the greatest ones.
I actually really like his first one. I know you guys did.
Yeah, I was kind of on the fence about that one, but he did Mortuary, I believe in 2004 or 5,
which I liked
2005.
when I seen it, but I haven't seen it in so long.
See, that was one of those films where it was all right until the third act, and then I actually read up on it. I think they ran out of money, and it just goes to prove, like Hooper's supposed to be this, almost master of horror. Like, he's an established filmmaker, and even at, being an established filmmaker, you still run into these budget constraints and even running out of money while you're doing films. It's kind of sad. And the end result is there. I mean, the third act is you can tell they just put $25, paid some film school guy to finish up the CG in the film, and it's boom. It's the heart. Just, you can see it's just not there. It's pretty sad, actually. But I always I actually really felt like that with a lot of Hooper's films. Pretty much since, I would say, The Mangler was probably one of his last kind of bigger and well respected films that he did, and that was in 95.
I mean, you look at Hooper's career, and honestly, guys, like, I am very saddened by this. Like, he was not my favorite horror director. In fact, out of the ones that we mentioned, Argento, Carpenter, Craven, Romero, I like all of those guys better. But Hooper has his definite place in horror film history, horror history. Like, the guy literally created one of the most successful villains and franchises of all time in Texas Chainsaw Massacre. He created one of the coolest villains ever in Chop Top in a sequel. Launched the career of Bill Moseley with that film, really shown what Bill Moseley can do. He obviously started with Texas Chainsaw, which a lot of people say like kind of a happy accident, right? Like, I mean, I'm sure he set out to make a decent film, but he didn't. This was lucky that it became an amazing movie. Like, it wasn't pure talent that caused it. Unlike Halloween, you look at it and you're like, okay, that is pure talent, right? And a little bit of luck. Chainsaw, not so much talent, tons of luck.
It's just originality at the time,
Yeah, Chainsaw is my favorite horror film of all time. Eaten Alive is a great little exploitation, fun movie. Apparently he worked on The Dark, but was uncredited for that. Salem's Lot. I mean, honestly, it's very scary. Like, Salem's Lot is a good movie. It's one of Hooper's best films.
It's unfortunate he was uncredited on Poltergeist too.
He was.
I think Salem's Lot's one of the best Stephen King TV adaptations out there, and there's a lot of them. It's definitely top tier.
For sure.
So
yeah. The Funhouse, a popcorn slasher. It's fun. It's in a house. It's in a fun house. Poltergeist. That is the big debated film, right? Like Poltergeist. I think if you credit Hooper for it, he's 100% a master of horror. 100% if you credit him with Poltergeist.
I think just knowing cinema and stuff. I mean, Jeremy can speak from this level too. I mean, probably familiar with Spielberg's films. I mean, this film has Spielberg written all over it.
Spielberg.
Oh, I know, and I agree with that.
Any Hooper elements at all. It's so crazy, man. Like, I mean, if Hooper did direct this, maybe with a little bit of, direction
even if he co-directed it, I would still,
I just don't believe it, though. I mean, the way the whole film plays out, and I've actually watched it recently, too. I watched it, a month and a half ago with my kid, and I'm just thinking, I'm watching it, from a critical point. I'm like, there's no way he directed this movie.
But one thing, dude, I will say, Life Force feels very much different than any of Hooper's other films. Like, I don't like that movie. It's badly paced, but in pure aesthetic, it is not that far removed from Poltergeist.
I think
the problem is we know that Spielberg pretty much directed a lot of Poltergeist.
I'm not going to argue with you on Life Force, considering you watched it 3 times in a row.
I think it is the script, though. So. I think it's the script in that film, too. Just given the idea of the film, you kind of have to go a little spacey, a little sci-fi with it too. It's going to change the aesthetic of his normal aesthetic anyways, because he'd never really done anything like that either, script-wise. So,
but his very next film, you have Invaders from Mars, also kind of has that Spielberg feel. I swear to God, I just watched it for 1986. It's very weird.
But it's also it's also a remake though too, right? So he's also influenced by the original material on that too, and kind of rolled with it. But it's an all right. I used to love Invaders from Mars. It's it's still a fun film. It's not a shitty film by any means or anything, but it's okay.
Okay. So then we have Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, obviously a very fun sequel. He did an episode Amazing Stories, and in my opinion, one of the coolest adaptations or iterations of Freddy Krueger ever in the prequel. No More Mr. Nice Guy prequel to Nightmare on Elm Street from Freddy's Nightmares.
I always thought it was super cool,
something that is very overlooked in his filmography because it's not a film, it's just a TV show. But it is an episode that literally gives you the backstory in Freddy visualized, which had not been done before. And I like that. And it's a really cool episode. And just touching Freddy gives him a little bit more cred. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and especially doing a decent adaptation of that original story. Spontaneous Combustion, never seen it.
It's really not good, man. It's really not good. It has a decent idea to it, and Brad Dourif is probably the best thing about the film, but it's not a good film.
Yeah. He did an episode of Tales from the Crypt. I do remember liking his episode. Night Terrors.
Night Terrors
is actually okay. It's all right.
Night Terrors.
I actually love his segment in Body Bags. I think it's probably it's really good. I know you were a little bit torn on it, but I loved it.
But it's definitely probably my least favorite one in the trilogy of short stories. So yeah, it's okay.
The Mangler, which I've never seen, but I have read the short story and would actually really like to eventually check that out. It's funny because there's 3 fucking Mangler films. We should do a Mangler trilogy.
Oh, great.
Jesus, man.
I'm
sure somebody will get us back on that one in the Patreon.
The last Dead Mal. The last Dead Mal mentioned the Mangler, remember?
Oh, yeah. Crocodile, very fun movie, actually. Not a great movie, but head and arms above what you get in terms of crocodile movies on the Sci-Fi Channel today. Pretty fun, honestly. And then, Toolbox Murders, which we've reviewed on this podcast, not very good.
No.
Mortuary, which had potential. 2 Masters of Horror, and of course, The Djinn. So his filmography hits and misses throughout, but there is there's
I think I'm going to change it.
Number, top 10 horror film there, arguable number 1 of all time. One of the better Stephen King adaptations ever. A solid, fun sequel, a interesting prequel to Nightmare on Elm Street, and of course the questionable Poltergeist. So he has some cred, man. I mean, he definitely does.
The oddball thing about Tobe Hooper is that, he's such a household name, but, I've said it many times and I've had lots of people ask me, like, why don't you ever do a top 10 Tobe Hooper, video? And I'm like, man, I've tried. I can't do it. And maybe that's just becoming the ground level for what a master of horror is. If you can make a top 10, a legit top 10 for a director, maybe he qualifies to be a master of horror, because he's made 10 quality films that you're worthy of putting into a list. I don't feel comfortable with Tobe Hooper at all. It's pretty bad when you start putting in like segments from fucking Tales from the Crypt into a top 10. That's not good, man. That's not good.
No, I agree that, but see, I would love. We need to do the show where we talk about Masters of Horror.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. Because there are filmmakers who have maybe 5 really good horror films. Somebody like Ty West, Adam Green, or something like that, who have not directed 10. Eli Roth, Rob Zombie. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I would love to bring each of us, design our own criteria, come in with what we think you must at least have 1 classic. You must at least have, 5 horror films to your credit. You must at least have this. You must at least have that. Bonus points for a top 25 horror film of all time, debatable. All these different things that can design a system to kind of decide for us, what a massive horror is. Tobe Hooper up in the air, but I think that he has a case. He does have a case.
I think a big one too, with designing the criteria for what a master of horror is. You can have a lot of good quality, but if your like bad films outweigh your quality, then I think that's like points against you. Kind of thing, right? Like if you just keep making films, and it's like it's kind of damaging your overall repertoire of quality.
Can do it to an extent, right?
Yeah.
Like you cannot take away the fact that Wes Craven created the coolest fucking villain of all time.
It's not about discrediting. It's just kind of weighing, making a balance. Like there's lots of directors out there that have like 3 or 4 really good films, but then
the key to doing this, Moods. The key to doing this is to establish a bona fide master of horror, maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Once you have the bona fide, these 100% no debate are masters of horror, maybe like Carpenter, Argento, something like that, then you can look at what their filmography has, doesn't have, what hurts them, and then you can kind of design a criteria based on who already is bona fide and made it in. So it's something that I want to do one day. We will do it one day when we're fucking booked up the ass for,
it won't actually just
for a few months. But
let's put it this way: it's not going to be just one day. The prep for that I hope isn't as bad as episode 100 because
maybe episode 200 we could do it.
That's a long ways away.
It's not even that far away.
Honestly, the way we're pumping out these episodes, it's actually not that far away. So,
so rest in peace to Mr. Hooper. I will always be a fan of a lot of your films. I do like obviously Texas Chainsaw Massacre more than any other movie that is a horror movie in the history of watching.
So cue up Thug Life's Pour a Little Liquor right here.
Yeah. Pour a little liquor for your homies, nigga.
No!
This guy.
I fucked it up.
Jeremy, do you know what they say is the worst thing in
Texas
radio?
Chainsaw Massacre.
Dead air.
Well, it was my fuck up.
Of course.
Of course.
Moving on into the news, we have Wes Craven's Summer of Fear Blu-ray release detailed. So this is coming out from an interesting company called Doppelganger Releasing, and it is 1978's Summer of Fear. Will be making its Blu-ray debut on October 10th, 2017. For the first time ever, this film is also known as Stranger in Our House. It was a made-for-television film that premiered Halloween night, 1978. And it is 39 years later that this film is getting a Blu-ray release, a special collector's edition with exclusive new interview by Linda Blair, a director commentary by Wes Craven. That had to have been DVD, right?
Yeah.
I would hope so, unless they fucking resurrected him, fucking Tales from the Hood style.
Well, I mean, it could have been, done.
Hopefully they didn't go to his grave and pissed on it, and he fucking reached up from the grave and pulled the guy's dick off.
It's got to be from the DVD release. It has to be.
Yeah. What is that DVD release under? Summer of Fear or Stranger in the House?
Summer of Fear.
All right, I'm trying to find it right now because it should be.
You know, I'm downstairs. I could grab my DVD, but I'd have to run all the way upstairs, and fuck that. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I can't remember if there was any features on it at all. It's just completely not with me.
I found it. Hold on 1 second. I will now read the back of the case, which comes with a audio commentary by director Wes Craven.
Wow.
So, that's actually pretty cool. Who put this out? Artisan. So, wait a minute. That should be Lionsgate, right? Huh.
Yeah.
They must have
not.
lost the rights.
Yeah, totally.
Which is really cool, man, because I think this is probably Wes Craven's most underrated title in his filmography. It's a solid watch. It really is, and
definitely one of his least seen ones. That's for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's really cool. It's like witchcrafty and stuff like that. Pretty cool stuff.
Ooh, that's going to be a hard week to pick release of the week.
Yeah,
we got Summer of Fear and the Pokeskis tapes.
Pokesi tapes.
Which one is he going to pick? That's a tough one.
All right, so moving along here. One other little piece of news here.
That fucker's going to sell like hotcakes.
This is coming courtesy of, I believe, Bloody Disgusting. And apparently the Children of the Corn rights are going to court. So,
I saw this.
Judge Judy.
We could only hope.
So basically,
guys,
what
no
happened,
shit. Wait, JP, no shit. Did you see what it's on the front page of Bloody Disgusting on the top right-hand corner? Editorials in defense of Pet Sematary 2. Are these mofos listening to our fucking show and writing shit? They did something last week when they wrote about Sorority Row.
I know.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
I swear to God.
Dude, that's
and now
almost
they're doing
too coincidental.
In defense of Pet Sematary 2.
I wonder if they're going to point out some of the shit that we said.
But you guys kind of defend... Yeah, I was the one shitting on it.
Pet Sematary 2 is a flawed film with weird story logic and cheesy dialogue, but it's also ballsy and fun.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's what we said.
Yep.
But moods. That would be really cool. That would be really cool if they were stealing off of us. I would allow it.
Fucking diarrhea.
So let's get into this Children of the Corn news. This is Bloody Disgusting. Actually, they took it from Variety, so should have actually went to Variety to get the full story. But I'm lazy, and Bloody Disgusting has an app. So basically, producer Donald Botchers has filed a federal copyright suit on Thursday, alleging that he and not the Weinstein Company owns the sequel rights to Children of the Corn. Botchers produced the original 1984 film based on Stephen King's short story about a call of murderous children. He also wrote and directed the 2009 TV adaptation. A bit of history, as Miramax acquired rights to the franchise in 1994. This is actually decently written up by Bloody Disgusting. Produced several sequels under the Dimension Films label. Many of them went straight to video, beginning with Children of the Corn 4, The Gathering in 1996, and all the way through the 8th installment.
Which is a pretty good one.
It's not.
No, it is.
So, Borchers has also been seeking to reboot the franchise since about 2004. In the lawsuit, Borchers says he initially approached Miramax with the idea of remaking the original film. At the time, he says he was told that Miramax had lost interest in the franchise because it no longer performed theatrically, and the video business was slowing down. According to Borchers, Miramax liked the idea of a remake, but quickly discovered that it had failed to secure the remake rights to the original film. So without telling Borchers, the company acquired those rights from Park Avenue Entertainment, the lawsuit states. In 2016, Borchers, sorry guys, I'm bad at names, wrote a spec script for a film spin-off of Children of the Corn and tried to license those rights from Dimension, now a subsidiary of the Weinstein Company. Dimension did not confirm whether it held those rights, and Borchers alleges he later determined that Park Avenue had in fact reserved them. Borchers says he has recently acquired the spin-off rights once held by Park Avenue and informed Dimension of this. Dimension contests Borchers' claim according to the suit. Borchers is now suing to confirm that he holds the rights. So basically what's going on here, and this is kind of a little confusing, but essentially this guy produced the original Children of the Corn. He tried to get back into the Children of the Corn by doing a remake, and the Weinstein Company, who owned the rights and produced them after Part 4, basically said no, and turns out that they actually didn't have the remake rights. So Borchers went outside of Dimension, got with that other company that was listed there. I'm
fucking lost.
Park Avenue. And he made the Sci-Fi Channel remake, which he wrote and directed. So remember when we covered those films, I was like, I don't understand why this wasn't Dimension produced.
Yeah, and then...
Okay, well, it's because they did not own the remake rights.
Okay.
So then Borchers goes back to Dimension and says that he wants to do this spin-off, which he then finds out that they actually don't own the rights to the spin-off. So he went and got them through another... that Park Avenue thing again. So that was who had the remake rights. And Dimension is saying, no, you can't do that because I guess their argument is that it's a sequel. Like a spin-off is...
Well, I think it's because you're still using the name. You own the rights to the name, right?
No, because Children of the Corn, the remake is called Children of the Corn also. So that's...
Oh, my head's gonna fucking explode like
and this,
scanners.
Actually, guys, this is a complete... exact thing that's wrong with Candyman right now. So, and it was a problem with Child's Play for a while too. Determining who owns sequel, remake, and original rights, because they're different, right? One company can own the original film, which means if you tell that story again, they own that story. But another company, aka Universal, owns which Child's Play did they own? They own the sequels, but MGM owned the original. So MGM owned the original. So if you would remake Child's Play, you would have to do it through MGM because they own the source material. But the sequels were owned by Universal, so they can keep producing sequels. What fucks everything up is when you talk about sometimes with remakes / sequels / spin-offs, it's like, well, where does that lie? Who owns the rights? It's very convoluted and very complex and confusing, and that's why Candyman is also one that the first film is owned by Lionsgate or TriStar or Columbia or something. The second film is owned by MGM, and the third film is owned by like Artisan. I think the first one's owned by Sony, right? The first one's owned by Sony, the second one's owned by MGM, and the third one's owned by Artisan. or one of those Trimark companies that are owned by Lionsgate. So that's where it gets super fuckery and super confusing. But basically, this guy is trying to say that his spinoff is not a sequel, so Dimension does not own the rights for him to make that Park Avenue does, and he licensed the rights from them so he can make his own film. Meanwhile, if you do remember, Dimension actually has a thing in their contract or in their rights where they must make a new Children of the Corn and Hellraiser film every so often, or else the rights retain to the original people or something like that.
Yeah.
So they actually filmed and produced and filmed Children of the Corn: The Runaway very recently. It's actually done, and it's just sitting on a shelf.
So once this guy, okay, so then that film's going to come out via Dimension. So if this guy wins the battle and releases or gets to make another film, it's going to be a sequel to his remake?
No, it's going to be a spin-off from the Children of the Corn lore, I guess. That's what he's saying. He wants to do a spin-off. What that means, I have no fucking idea.
But using the material that he used in his remake?
Because, in my opinion, they've been doing spin-offs for a very long time now. Like,
oh, exactly. It's just,
Genesis is a spin-off. What's the other one in the apartment complex? Revelations. That's a spin-off. Yeah. Part 4 was kind of a spin-off. I guess they're technically sequels, but they're more spin-offs.
So when it comes down to what do you actually classify these films? I mean, they're obviously being classified as sequels and not spin-offs.
Yeah, because they own rights to sequels. So it's very bullshit. I would hate to be dealing with this, you know what I mean? But that's interesting. I mean, I actually liked his remake, so honestly, he probably will do better than Dimension has been doing. So let that guy do it.
Well, let's face it, Dimension doesn't really have the strongest track record with pumping out their sequels to save their franchises. They're usually pretty damn weak. Let's face it. I mean, they do it just to save grace, you know? Fucking greedy bastards. They should have let go of that shit and let people make some real fucking sequels. Who cares?
So the last bit of news here that I wanted to get to is actually something that I forgot about last week. And it was the launch of, or actually the reconfiguration of something that has been launched since, I think, 2013. And that is a website called MoviePass. This made a huge splash in the news because it was kind of interesting and kind of like weird at the same time, maybe a little shady. But the original guy who was involved in launching and creating Netflix no longer is part of that, and he launched something called MoviePass a few years ago, which was basically you paid $50 a month and you could see as many movies as you want, one per day, all month long. And
so basically 30 or 31 films a month.
Correct. Yes, if you went every day. Now,
so on the shortened February, you just get ripped off then.
Well, I mean, technically no, because if you watch, I think 5 in the month, you break even, essentially. Yeah. So, depending on what your ticket price costs, but they did some crazy shit and they lowered the price to a $10 a month fee. Which essentially, if you see more than one movie in a month, the company loses money. Because how this works is they actually have gotten a third-party credit card to back them.
MasterCard.
And they are basically paying the theater the full price. So the theater's not losing money. They are actually getting exactly what they're supposed to get. Plus, if you really break it down, they're going to make more money as long as it goes as planned, because more people are going to spend more on concession items because they didn't spend anything on the tickets, which we know they always fucking tell us that their concession items are what keeps them open, not the tickets.
Yeah.
So it should be a win-win-lose, meaning win for us, win for the theater, and lose for the company doing this. Now,
so what's the incentive to do that, though?
I heard it doesn't work.
What's that, Jeremy?
I heard that everybody's having problems with it.
Okay, well, I'll get to that in a second. But so one of the problems is, how do you monetize that? How do you make money to where it makes sense. I heard that there's like maybe some advertising that they're looking into, a way to monetize how this works with the app. You use it through the app, you put ads on the app, you make money through the ads on the app, stuff like that. And that would cancel out the money that they're losing on the theater. And of course, there's always the option to raise the price after a little while when people get hooked on it. Because honestly, I didn't really know about this service, but $10 a month is definitely worth it. $50 a month is a stretch, but something like $25 I would maybe pay, depending on how busy of a movie season it is. It actually made me want to go to the theater more. Now, there are some issues with this. Like AMC, one of the biggest theater chains, is trying to fight it, but they can't because they're still getting paid for it. And they would have to actually decline MasterCard as a whole to be able to decline taking that credit card. Because how it works
you don't want to,
is essentially you pay the $10, you download the app, you go to the movie theater where you want to see the movie, you check in, and it basically it allows you, it opens the access to your card to be able to be scanned or slid through the credit card machine, and it pays for it like that. You know what I mean? So the problem right now is when they made this announcement, they got completely overflooded with people, which is a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing because that means people were interested. It's a bad thing because they were not set up for that amount of traffic. And the website kept crashing. The app kept crashing. It wasn't really clearly outlined how everything worked. I did sign up for it because I want to review it. I want to let you guys know my thoughts on it. Currently, I cannot use the app. I cannot use I can't use it at all. But to be fair, I haven't been charged yet either. They essentially, they will not charge you until you get the credit card in the mail. So that when you activate it, that will be your reoccurring monthly payment on that date where you're able to use it, which is fair. The problem is they just didn't explain that to people ahead of time. They sign up, they assume they've been charged. They're like, why doesn't this work? This thing sucks. So that is, it did take me a little bit of research to figure out what's going on with it. 1 minute you can see the theaters on the app, the next you can't. But basically it's because of high volume of traffic, and they can't really pin down how to make the app work with this amount of traffic.
I don't know what they thought what the fuck was going to happen.
I know, right? Because
what a bunch of fucking dumbasses.
It got downloaded like over 100,000 times in a week or something.
Like, do they think like they're going to announce $9.99 of limited movies and fucking people aren't going to go ape shit?
Yeah, I mean,
like that's just bad planning.
Amazing. It would be awesome. The only problem with it is like, okay, let's say I wanted to go see it opening night. Well, I can't pre-order a ticket. I have to be in the theater and press the button and buy the ticket within 30 minutes of me pressing that button. Now that becomes problematic if something sells out. You know what I mean? Because then you go there and you can't even get in. That is an issue. But for like regular movie going experiences, like if you don't want to go opening night, you want to just show up on a Saturday, like midday or something, chances are that movie's not sold out. And it honestly, if it works like they're advertising after they get everything squared away, I should receive my card in September, like the first week of September. I will try it, obviously, and go to a movie and see if it works. It'll suck if it doesn't because it'd be awkward. I'll be like, oh, I guess this thing doesn't work. I got to pay for it now. But it's a very interesting concept and honestly could save this industry. It really could, because the biggest problem right now with going to the movies is the goddamn price. It is so high. If you want to go with a family, you want to take 4 people, you better at least have $80. At least, bare minimum. You know what I mean? And that is insane to me, to see one movie that you don't even know if it's going to be good or not. It's insane, dude. It's really fallen down in terms of a viable entertainment for family.
So is this just available in the U.S.? Do we know?
That's something I do not know, homie. But if this works, is it something that you would be interested in, Jeremy?
I don't know, because I usually go see more than one movie a day, you know?
Well, you could still go see more than one a day, but you don't have to pay for one.
Well, it's cutting your costs in half right there if you're doing that.
Yeah, but if I go to a matinee, yeah, I guess so.
I mean, it's like you buy one movie, get fucking 30 free.
Yeah, I mean...
like, that's a super deal.
I mean, Christ, dude, you don't have to go see that movie, both those movies on the same day. Just go in consecutive days. Christ,
Yeah,
it's free.
yeah.
Essentially.
Nah. I'm a loser, though. I just go sit all day.
I mean, that's fine too, dude, but you're still saving massive amounts of money.
Yeah, no matter
if
what.
If you go to the movies, if you use it 4 times in a month, only 4 times, you're automatically saving at least $30.
Yeah.
At least. That's insane.
I'm going to wait and see how it goes.
Yes, obviously that is this is a very dangerous situation, because if they get too much traffic and their investors pull out and stuff, it cripples the company immediately. You know what I mean? So there's a fine line. They have to be able to financially keep afloat long enough to have, because the thing is, once you have 100,000 subscribers, you can then go to advertisement companies or however you want to monetize it and say, this is what we have, and then you make a deal, and then you start getting revenue from them, and it balances out. But the problem is if you get overflooded too fast, then you can't keep up with the demand, and you're losing money too fast to then get everything set in motion. And that's the problem with this company potentially. Now, if they do go under, I'm not stressing, because I'll only lose $10, and then, if I can't use it and a month goes by, I'm obviously going to block them from charging me again. You know what I mean? So it's an interesting concept. I like it, and I think that it could be very good for the industry, but it needs to get some kinks worked out immediately, because people are getting mad and think it's a ripoff already when they don't fully understand what's going on.
There's no way this is coming to Canada. Absolutely no way. No fucking way.
Well, it's not like you would use it anytime anyway.
Well, I mean,
yeah, we're trying to see if you're getting the biggest release of the year at your theater.
Yeah, and so far it's not there. I'm looking at the app and it's not, so it's a little bit frustrating.
Still a week and a half away.
Yeah, because a lot of times my shit don't even show up till week of.
Yeah, true that.
And
true
that's
that.
here.
True that.
That's here.
But I mean, if this deal actually came to Canada, I don't think it would benefit me a whole lot. And I mean, for myself, I only have one cinema here now. We used to have 3, we only have 1 left. They really do focus on kids' films and blockbusters and stuff. I don't get a lot of films I want to go to. I don't even know if I could actually go for,
See, the
3 or 4
opposite
times a
thing
month.
happened to me, Moods. I had 2 theaters that are close to me, and one of them showed kid films and family films, and the other one got like the horror stuff. The one that was further away from me got the horror stuff. I hated it. It's a shittier theater, and it was just terrible. That one closed down, and what happened was this one that's closer to me that used to only play family stuff now plays both. So like the opposite happened with me, where you lost one and still only one plays the family stuff. But it was good for me that we lost one, because now the one closer to me actually plays the good stuff.
I can see whatever I want.
Yeah, I know. Shut up.
The joys of living in a big city, though, man. But yeah, no, I miss
it
that
a lot now too, Jeremy. You know that I get a lot of the stuff that you get too. Not everything, but a good bit of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I miss the big city, man. It's so much handier.
Like,
it's so frustrating around here.
When you read about that Bava festival that's going on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But,
so disappointed.
Did you guys hear Cult of Chucky cements the franchise as one of the best?
Really?
Reviews
That's a
are
review?
starting to come in.
It is getting positive reviews too.
And the new
Saw
Leatherface
is getting bad reviews, and the Leatherface is getting good reviews. And what was the other one? That's Jeepers Creepers getting bad?
I haven't heard.
Or has it not posted
it?
I just heard that people were boycotting and protesting the film, so I didn't.
That was the last bit of news. So there was Jeepers Creepers was supposed to have a 1-day screening, which was on September 23rd, correct?
No, that's not what it said. You didn't read it right.
What?
It was supposed to have a world premiere on September 13th with a double feature with Jeepers Creepers 1 and Jeepers Creepers 3, and they canceled that. The 26th is still happening.
I thought it was the 23rd.
And they canceled that because of the potential protesters, or
I don't know. I just know that they canceled the world premiere of it in LA.
All right. So what? So the film's still coming out, limited release.
No, it's coming out September 26th only. It's a one-night thing, like 31 when 31 came out. It's a one night.
I thought that's what I said.
I thought you said that they canceled that.
Oh, okay. So that's still happening.
Well, somebody better.
They canceled the world premiere of it on the 13th of September.
Well, somebody better pick up these distribution rights to release the media soon.
Screen Media Archives. Screen Media picked it up.
Oh, did they? All right.
So, chances are we won't be doing the Jeepers Creepers show until it comes out on media.
Screen Media picked it up. Charlie Sheen was originally cast in the original Nightmare on Elm Street.
Mm-hmm.
He was.
And did Jackie Earle Haley audition for Glenn?
And he wanted $3,000 a week, and they told him to fuck off.
Who, Charlie?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Johnny Depp's better anyway. So that's the news, guys.
Sweet. Yeah. Good stuff. All right. Jumping into mood swings here in the DVD Blu-ray releases for September 5th, 2017. First up here, we have a Dark Song. An IFC Midnight. I know Jeremy will be picking this up. Of course, released on the Scream Factory line. I don't know anything about this one. I really don't.
Well, we all know the next film is the release of the week, so.
Yeah. Do you know anything about the Dark Song? I haven't really heard anyone talk about this one at all.
Oh, but it looks like a fucking devil film, and we all know I hate those, so.
Well, it's explainable. You are a Jew. So,
yeah.
What does that have to do with anything? How many times do I have to fucking say this? Jews don't believe in the damn devil. God damn it. I say this shit every time.
It doesn't mean you can't enjoy a film, man. Fuck, I'm sure there's lots of shit that
I don't believe in the devil either. So. I still like The Exorcist.
There you go. Point proven. All right, here from Lionsgate, we have the Blu-ray release of American Psycho 2. Man, I don't know why. As soon as this thing got announced, people were like, fuck yeah, American Psycho 2.
Wait, this is Lionsgate? So they're like, this isn't worthy of Vestron. We put Shut 2 on there, but American Psycho 2? Nah.
That shit wouldn't have sold. But I couldn't believe, the positive reaction to this. People are like, fuck yeah, American Psycho 2. And I'm like, what?
Maybe it's
Psycho
good.
2. It's not. It's actually kind of an entertaining film, but it's so
It got Mila Kunis in it, right?
Yeah, she's cool. Yeah. She's cool, but it's so fucking filled with so many plot holes and just stupid, retarded scenes and shit. It's kind of fun though, but I can see why Vestron decided to pass on this one. But
maybe when it's in the 788 dump bin,
I don't know if it was a lot of people that had never seen American Psycho that were praising the shit and they were all excited because
that wouldn't be a bad show, 1 and 2, because those of you who haven't noticed, we're kind of a little bit doing a little bit slower of shows in terms of the films we're covering. We're trying to cover 2 films for the next couple weeks, minus Patreon shows.
Yeah, well, leading up to Italian month, right? So
yeah.
We got to keep it real, man. Got to pace ourselves here. The Cabin in the Woods coming out on 4K for all those.
This is probably the first 4K film that isn't a bona fide classic that's also a horror film. You know what I mean? It's kind of a interesting one to be released, but I love that movie.
Fucking skips over Blade Runner. This mofo.
Not even horror.
Blade Runner's fucking awesome though.
Yeah, but it's not a horror film though, man. It'll fit the goddamn profile. So,
yeah,
Jared, are you going to eventually pick up The Cabin in the Woods? I know we were kind of talking about this. Say if it drops down to $14 or something like that, you grabbing it?
I bet you it's 10 on Black Friday.
Probably.
I'll buy it then.
Probably.
Maybe. Like I said, I'm going to buy Blade Runner before I buy Cabin in the Woods. So
Cabin in the Woods is fun, dude.
Yeah, but it's fucking Blade Runner on 4K. I bet you that shit's gonna.
I haven't seen it in a while, man.
Amazing.
It's been a while since I've seen Cabin in the Woods. I remember digging it.
The ending.
I love that movie.
The ending. The CGI at the end killed it for me.
No, that's intentional, dude.
It looks so bad though.
Yeah, I don't know if it was intentional. It looked shitty, but
well, some of it is because that's the joke. That like it's a parody.
Well,
like,
of course.
The giant snake is supposed to be CGI because in horror fan lore, we know that the Sci-Fi Channel cranks those out. Like that's the whole point, is to be mimicking the genres, like the same way that you see the Pinhead characters and the puzzle box. It's an incredibly intelligent movie that a lot of people miss completely.
No, I get that. Coming from Arrow is actually a film that Derek reviewed on the show last week, and it is called The Ghoul. And
how did he have that?
He must have got a screener.
YouTube celebrity.
Yeah, I actually never got one for this. I don't think. I don't check half the time. And I get packages from Arrow because I get the shitty ones, so I don't really even open them up half the time. I just gotta throw them off to the side. I don't know. It sounded interesting though. When he first went into it, I thought it was the Boris Karloff film, but he said 2016. So, but it sounds kind of cool. I want to check it out actually. So, next up here from Scream Factory, we have a film I've never seen before, and I didn't really know a whole lot about, but I did find out this is a TV horror film from the 70s. And it is called The Spell. So that's really damn cool, man. Scream Factory giving some TV love on Blu-ray.
TV Terrors Volume 2.
Yeah, which is never happening. They fucking... Oh, man, that whole situation was such a flop.
Yeah.
It's so funny. We have I don't know, I can't really click on this thing, but it's we got a 4-pack of Chiller Thrillers. It just looks horrendous. Guess no one's probably going to pick up that thing. Probably being a dump in at Walmart, $5 kind of thing.
I don't know if it's horrendous. I mean, it got the Good Marriage adaptation on it.
Oh shit, Moods. Next week you finally get to see it. Comes at night. Finally.
Yeah, I don't know what the other films are on it, but every time I click on it, it just doesn't really give me much.
It is A Good Marriage, Stephen King adaptation, Face of an Angel, Faults, and I can't find the other one.
So are these Chiller channels, or are they just called Chiller Thrillers?
And Colonia. I don't know. The only one that I would be interested in is A Good Marriage, but I already own it, so.
Yeah.
That was also in Full Dark No Stars. So now I believe 3 out of the 4 stories have been adapted. Big Driver, 1922, and Good Marriage. There was just one other one that wasn't.
That is right. Coming out from Universal is a film that both you guys have talked about on the show, and it's only coming out on DVD in Region 1. I'm not 100% sure why. And it's called Raw.
That's so weak.
It is
because this film needs to be on Blu-ray.
It's kind of actually a tough one to get a hold of on Blu-ray. I just looked it up before the show, and I was like, I knew there was a Blu-ray somewhere, but it's an HMV exclusive in the UK. So it's not on Amazon UK right now. You can only get it HMV, and it's the Blu-ray exclusive. So don't know what fucks up with that, but I don't know. Maybe I'll wait for it to come on Amazon. Next up here we have, I'm not really 100% sure what this is at all. It's called The Real Story Scream. Do you know anything about this one, JP?
So that's the truth behind the fiction.
It's like Smithsonian Channel, the facts behind. I have no idea what this fucking. I hadn't heard a thing about this. Well, it's being distributed by PBS. So that kind of caught my attention. I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
It's. I have no idea what it is, but it is only 46 minutes long, and it says the gore fest may seem like Hollywood fiction, but it is actually inspired by a real life killing spree that sent an idea Florida town into panic.
Horror 101 plus 8 coming back.
So it's shit. Based on some weird ass crime that we didn't know about.
Horror 101 plus 2 is literally the worst thing that Jeremy's ever came up with. It's actually the worst.
So
I give
it's
him
technically
credit for some things.
It's Horror 103?
No, Horror 101 plus 8.
So it's Horror 109?
Sure.
That fell 30 yards from me. I don't even know what 109 means.
I guess it's saying Scream's iconic villain Ghostface was inspired by a real serial killer who preyed on young students in the college town of Gainesville, Florida.
In Gainesville?
I don't know about this bullshit.
Get the real story screen. Where's the fucking joke in this? I don't. It looked odd to me because I'm looking at it going, I don't think that's one of the documentaries that's on, the Screen box set release, because there's actually 2 of them in there, which is kind of cool. Yeah, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is neither of them, so I don't know. But if it's based on some real events, that's what it is. But 46 minutes PBS. Awesome.
It's like Smithsonian.
Yeah, it's so weird.
That's who the Smithsonian magazine came up with this.
It's so fucking random. Release of the week of the show. Fuck, man. There's really not a whole lot going on here, man. I probably would have said no. I'm just gonna go with The Spell. A never before seen or released TV horror film from the 70s. For collectors, that's like gold mine shit right there. So we got to go with The Spell.
If you have 4K, it should be Cabin in the Woods.
No,
you guys are just assholes,
Nah,
you just need a fucking.
4K is gonna fall flat on its face.
Never gonna happen. That's what you all said about Blu-ray, and look, we're still.
I never said that shit about Blu-ray.
I always knew Blu-ray was fun. I mean,
yeah.
It will live. I bet you in 2020 we're still talking about 4K.
No, I truly believe 4K is here to stay. However, there will be Blu-ray and there will be DVD as well.
I agree, but it's not going to fall on its face like Moods has said it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it remains to be seen. But, we'll see. People, the 4K...
When Terminator 2 comes out and JP fucking sees it, he's going to jizz his pants and then he's going to come on.
Yeah, but I'm so far away from getting 4K, especially now that this unfortunate circumstances came into my life. I was gonna try to get 4K this year, but it'll probably be another year. So
I don't have any ambition to do it right now whatsoever. Like even grab a 4K TV.
You should, because you are all you have a really good setup, right?
I know. I just don't need a new TV. My TV is so good.
I feel like what it is you don't want to have to worry about collecting something else because you're OCD.
No, I just don't need a new TV and a new 4K player. Besides, the 4K player to me would be just hooked up next to the all region player.
Well, how old is your TV?
I don't know. It's a few years old now. Come to think of it, but
older than the podcast.
I don't know when I got this one.
Huh.
Yeah, it's probably about that old. Yeah, the one that I watched. I've bought a couple different ones for upstairs, but anyways, my point is that I watch a lot of region, locked films and stuff, so I use that player. I haven't heard of a 4K all region player yet. So
yes, it is. They're $400, but you can get them.
Yeah, exactly my point. That's the thing. I mean, if you're going to go upscale, buy a 4K TV, which is going to cost you a little bit of money, you have to get the 4K player. Holy fuck, dude. I mean,
but those things have been out for 2 years. And on Black Friday, it'll be 2 years. Those mofos have been out. And they haven't gone down in price. They're still $200. Well,
here's the thing. Yeah, my cousin today, who, by the way, does not collect, does not watch Blu-ray, doesn't even own a Blu-ray, right? Just texted me today and was like, I think I'm going to get one of those 4K TVs. I was walking by Walmart and they look really, really nice. And I was like, do it, so the casuals are starting to buy them, right? The people that just have TVs, so I think that I would say in the next 3 years, everybody that we're in circles with will have one.
It's really not that practical for myself. I mean, a lot of people that I know are buying 4K TVs are, they're watching, TV and things like that with them. I don't watch fucking TV ever. The only thing I watch on TV is sports. And
yeah, well, I mean, I would wonder what 4K sports would look like.
Yeah, I think it's different for you guys.
I think
than it is for me.
Yeah,
because I get off on that kind of stuff. So it's
I like that kind of stuff too, Jeremy.
I nerd out on it.
I just can't.
I mean, I'm not opposed to 4K whatsoever. I just don't see myself. Like I said, it's not that practical for myself right now.
It also hasn't transitioned as much up into Canada. I'm sure that the 4K releases would cost you an arm and a leg.
Best Buy has a whole fucking section not ready.
Oh no,
yeah, it's getting bigger in Walmart too. I was actually really surprised about that.
No, 4K. Yeah, that's funny actually. The Walmarts here, or the one Walmart that I have, man, doesn't have any 4K that I can remember seeing, but other places do. I don't know, but 4K TVs and players, all that shit. I mean, that's all. It is what it is, but. I guess that is mostly for people that are watching TV and shit, so not really my thing at all.
We'll see. The discs are only 16 gigs more than Blu-rays, so I don't know what the fuck they do to it, but it looks good.
Well, apparently that's enough. 16 gigs? Shit.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know. It remains to be seen.
We'll see. We'll see. I think the 4K game, especially in the horror community, is real right now if you're willing to import stuff, you know?
Yeah, it's not even close to being a viable horror collecting option right now.
You get Dawn of the Dead on 4K.
There's like 5 titles, dude. Like, it's not something that's even close to being a thing. Like, literally, the Suspiria Synapse has just made a statement where they said to actually put Suspiria on 4K disc would cost so much money that it would be a loss. And that makes sense that we probably won't see these niche companies doing it for old retro films for another 4 or 5 years, because the price of it is just so high right now, and we're just going to see major studios putting out stuff that's in their vaults for a little while.
I can't see a lot of these companies doing them except for the bigger ones like Scream Factory and Arrow, the ones that are actually, you know, making a ton of money and stuff. But
I think Arrow's going to be the first one to do it.
Probably. One good thing, though, dude, is that a lot of these people are already creating 4K transfers and scans for their, 2K releases or whatever it is, or for their.
It's more or less a prelude to what's to come, right? It's kind of a prelude.
So it's good that they're doing this with already spending the money now, and eventually once actually putting them to disc becomes cheaper, then it'll become more viable, and that's when it would really take off or not take off. We're still a long ways away. It's people like Jeremy who are going to keep it afloat for a little while, and then once it settles in a little bit more, becomes cheaper. The more things are produced, the cheaper they become. Things like that. So it's interesting. I'm sure we're going to talk about it a few times more.
I mean, essentially what it comes down for me, man, is some of the companies that I collect movies from and support. I mean, if they started putting out that format, I mean, yeah, it might pique my interest a little bit more. But right now, it's it's more of the studio catalog titles that are coming out, things that I'm just that I own on other formats. Like, I mean, for me, Cabin in the Woods, I have the Blu-ray. There's no way I'd buy the 4K. There's just I just wouldn't do it.
There's no way I would buy the 4K for a 4K price. Now, if it was like $10 or something,
it's only 15 right now. You know that, right?
That's insane. That's a good price. So
I know.
That's fucking cheaper than a Blu-ray that comes a new Blu-ray.
Well, 4Ks are only $5 more than Blu-rays on.
But they have to keep the prices down, though, man. They have to start selling a little bit here, man.
Yeah, but you know what, Jeremy? $5 more is a lot when you're already paying top bill for something. When a movie to me costs $20 on release date, $25.
Yeah, but you have to remember that you're not getting just the 4K. You get the 4K and the Blu-ray. For now. Just like when Blu-rays first came out, it always came with a DVD too. But now they pretty much still do come with the DVD.
Sometimes, not all the time. There's a lot that don't still.
Yeah, a lot of the niche stuff, but a lot of the studio stuff.
So basically, I think that
they have the affords the distribution on the DVD and Blu-ray, because it's usually different rights, right? That's why you'll see some combo packs come out. They'll put up the DVD and Blu-ray, and then some companies look at Mondo Macabro, man.
The same rights.
Look at Mondo Macabro, man. Some of their stuff comes out on Blu-ray, some comes out on DVD. I mean, it's just the way it is, right? So, when they probably could be doing them, who knows? Maybe that's what they acquired. I don't know. I mean, look at Raw. Why is Raw only on DVD?
Because DVD sells more than Blu-ray. Fact. It does.
Maybe.
It does. If you're not.
I mean, it could be an argument too. I mean, it could have been that's just what they got. They acquired the right. They acquired the DVD rights for it.
There's actually no difference in rights between DVD and Bluray. Actually, it's only digital that has a difference in rights.
I don't think
because home video can be anything. It could be Blu-ray, 4K. It could be any release that's on physical.
I can't think of any specifics, but I remember specifically. Me and Derek were even talking about a film that was released on DVD by a company, and somebody went and released. They got the rights to release the Blu-ray, and it pretty much came out at the exact same time. So that's why they did that.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the fuck film it was, and I was just like, oh yeah, that's kind of interesting, but you know, whatever. I think there is difference. I mean, everything probably works a little bit different too. Who really knows, man? I mean, that part of the industry is.
I just have never heard of it, so I mean, if it happens, I'm sure it's rare.
Yeah, could be. All right, so moving along here, let's get into some box office brawl.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Ding, ding, since JP's unprepared again.
Man, I don't know when we do box office brawl. This is your segment, douche. Shouldn't you have?
I don't know why you keep blaming JP every time for that.
Yeah,
because you're the one that has all the sound effects. Nobody ever carries the sound effects but you.
Yeah,
but it's the running joke.
It's your game, player. Do it.
Okay, so just an update on the scores. You know, we did mention it last week, but I am 1 point. Moods is 2 versus me. I am 3 versus 2 against Jeremy, and Jeremy is 0 and Moods is 2 against each other. So,
yeah.
So this week, guys. So this week was the #1 worst weekend in box office history in the past 15 years. So,
really, the past 15 years
in the history of the box office, but the last 15 years.
Yep.
I just like the way that was worded.
The combined gross of the top 12 films fell to total over $50 million, and $2.6 million of this came from the Mayweather and McGregor.
The theaters were showing them. The theaters were
telecast, and it placed 8th for the weekend. So that fight was in the top 10 for the box office for the week.
So how much did it make?
It made $2.6 million on Saturday only, to place it the 3rd on Saturday's chart and 8th for the weekend.
So what is that? What is 2.6 million divided by 100?
260,000.
So in theaters, they sold 260,000 buys, I guess it would be, right?
They were $40 a ticket.
Okay.
So,
holy fuck, yeah. Really? Crazy.
Yeah, $40.
$40.
All right, so no need to sugarcoat it. This week was a miserable weekend. The combined gross of the top 12 failed to reach over 50 million, something that hasn't happened in an August weekend in over 20 years. In fact, the combined 49 million for the top 12 is the worst since the top 12 combined for 43.5 million in late September 2001, which of course makes sense why that was the case.
Yeah, it does.
Making matters worse, with next weekend seeing no major new wide releases, things aren't going to improve until it arrives on September 8th. So #1, Hitman's Bodyguard, 10 million, and Annabelle Creation, which brought in 7.35 million.
Which I believe $10 of that was for me.
And $10 for me.
I saved my 14.
But so we're off next week, and we're going to come back. So the week that we come back, it will have came out. So we're going
which we should hopefully be covering. Like, that's our goal right now.
It all depends on Moods and his fucking stupid Canadian ass.
If Moods does not see it, we will still cover it in some format. It might not be an episode. Might be in what we watched. Maybe we can just do it one.
Man, you are hell-bent on covering this regardless. Crazy.
Dude, it's such a huge film, and I'm gonna see it, so why not turn it into content? You know what I mean? It's just me. I know for sure that I'm seeing it opening night. It just feels silly not to turn it into some kind of content.
But anyway,
especially need content.
So it's definitely the most talked about release in the community for this year, and it's gonna get a wide release, 4,000 plus theaters. Everyone's talking about it. One of the greatest marketing campaigns in recent memory. YouTube fucking exploded the day the trailer came out. So I think it's going to do big. I'm curious to hear what you guys are going to think it's going to do. So, JP, how much do you think it's going to make?
I'm going first.
Okay, I could go first. I don't care.
Well, no. I mean, if you it's fair for me to go first. You always go first usually, but you went against the grain here. So, all right, so I guess I will go first. So how many theaters is this in?
4,000.
What?
4,000.
4,000.
Crazy.
And it better fucking be up in Canada. If that's in 4,000 theaters and it's not.
Well,
in Canada,
I wouldn't say up.
damn
Of
shame.
course, everyone's gonna get it, but you got to remember where I live. I mean, it'll be playing in fucking 30.
I just can't imagine you
cinemas
get
in Vancouver.
like you got Alien Covenant and Annabelle. Like I just assumed that you would. I mean,
Yeah, but
I
this,
just I would
guy,
be very.
but this guy likes to
surprised.
bid on shitty films like the fucking Emoji film and
Hit
what
him
a-
up, call it.
What
Call
other
him and be like,
fucking
you're gonna
garbage
get freaking
came out,
hit,
man?
bro, because you're ruining my life.
Fucking Dark Tower, fucking Nut Job 2. Like, combine those films don't even have 30% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's fucking ridiculous, man. Like, this is the shit that we have in the theater right now. I guess we have Dunkirk and I don't know what the fucking Hitman's Bodyguard is, but Annabelle is there. So I mean, at least that's
promising.
That's encouraging. That's encouraging that there is a horror film within the midst of all that diarrhea. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
All right, JP.
Well, okay, so it's in 4,000 theaters.
God, I didn't think it was going to be in that many. That's fucking crazy.
That's a lot. Like what else gets 4,000? Like what did the
All the
Dark Tower have?
blockbusters. Like
Blockbusters, yeah.
3,800.
Fucking anything with Marvel stamped on it. It's crazy, man. What is it going up against? Do we know?
It
Yeah,
is
what is
going
it
up
going up
against 9/11, which is a movie that Charlie Sheen and Whoopi Goldberg is in when they're trapped in an elevator in one of the Twin Towers on 9/11.
That sounds like a TV
That sounds
film.
pretty cool.
That sounds like a made-for-TV film right now.
I know, but it sounds kind of cool. It's a contained movie.
Wait, what is it again? Say it again.
It has Charlie Sheen, Whoopi Goldberg, and
It's the
it
most
takes place
random
inside of an
cast.
elevator in one of the Twin Towers on 9/11.
That's like the most random cast,
Dude,
man.
and this is not a comedy?
No, it's a fucking drama.
That's like the weirdest comment. Charlie Sheen and Whoopi Goldberg.
Is this with or without AIDS?
I don't know.
It's that.
I'm a dick.
Is that gonna affect your your decision?
And then it's going up against Home Again, which is a Reese Witherspoon romantic comedy.
Oh, fucking Reese Witherspoon in her.
This
Pinpoint
is such
chin.
a weird. Okay, so it's really not going up against anything significant. That
No.
is a huge deal,
Nope, because Mother comes out the week after that.
which is good, but no,
Yeah.
good, and it will not affect it at all. Nobody's like, well, I'm not going to the movies this weekend because next weekend Mother comes out and I need to save my money.
And then after that,
just put it this
the
way,
week
that-
after that, Friend Request comes out, and then the week after that, Flatliners comes out.
So we have a big box office brawl schedule ahead of us, which is
the whole
cool.
month. And did you see the trailer for Flatliners?
I don't think that's gonna
JP?
do very well.
Yeah, dude, listen, I
It looks
watched
like
the
a horror
trailers.
film.
Listen, I watched the trailers for everything, and I'm excited for everything that I seen. Fuck,
I don't know,
even
Friend
Saw
Request.
8.
Friend
Saw-
Request looks pretty
He's
shit.
so
They
he's
didn't
so
show that one.
He's so
I
excited
was
about
like, dude,
everything
Saw
that he
8
saw.
looks cool, man.
It's gonna make him start
Like,
watching trailers at home now on his PC.
No,
He's like,
no,
fuck
no.
that, I don't
no,
need to go to the
no.
theater and just watch trailers. I'm gonna stay at home
Like-
and watch them on PC and not
Like
tell
the
anybody
It trailer is scary as fuck. Like Happy Death Day looks fun as hell. Flatliners actually looks cool. Like it's probably not going to be great.
Man, I can't even
but it
comment
looks
on
at
this
least
shit, man.
intriguing.
It looks like a horror film,
I'm
right?
keeping it real. I'm not watching
yeah,
trailers, man. I'm
it
keeping it
definitely
real.
has more of a.
I would have
well,
fucking
can't-
left the theater, man. I would have left the theater and
No.
then, kind of got a text from Carly and said, hey, are the trailers over? I'd have kept it real, man. Kept it
No.
real.
Okay, so with this in mind, guys. So let me just put this in perspective. The number 2 Stephen King opening of all time is The Dark Tower.
It's going to be number 1. So.
Man, that is so pathetic.
Yeah, the number
So
1
pathetic.
is 1408 with a whopping $20 million. So
it's going to crush that
if
shit.
history shows,
No, this is...
then
People are intrigued by
this
clowns.
This would be fucking a disaster.
Epic.
If it came in long lines with history. We know that this is going to break history because it has one thing that those other films don't, and that is that it's about clowns and it's about one of Stephen King's best novels, one of his most known novels of all time. I am very, very conflicted on this one because I don't know. I feel like it's going to be huge. But again, it could be one of those things. What is the biggest opening for the year right now?
That would be my Beauty and the Beast, I think. Stand by.
Okay, so while Jeremy's finding out,
it's Beauty and the Beast with it opened up to 147 million.
Holy shit! Okay, so we know it's not going that territory, but that meant that. Jesus. So if 140 million, right, for a PG film that everybody and their granddaughter is going to go to,
of a story that everybody knows, that's so fucking
174 million. So okay, I'm gonna say automatically, no matter what, cut that in half, because the PG alone is gonna bring in double.
That's what's in top 10. Get Out.
What did it open at?
Well, for domestically for the year, it's number 9 of the year, but it made $175 million during its whole run. Just fucking nuts. Opening weekend, it made $33 million, and that's Get Out.
Okay, but Get Out, I feel like, was one of those films that got word of mouth going, and it just stayed dominant.
But that was the opening week. I don't know, man. I think this one's gonna fucking.
What did Annabelle do? 35?
Yeah, 35.
So it only did a couple million under Get Out.
Yeah, but I think it has a lot more buzz around it than Annabelle.
I do too, and that's my argument here. Is like the word of mouth with Get Out helped a lot, but it is already established. People know it. Even my coworkers know it, and one coworker in particular was like, "Oh, hell no, I ain't going to see it. I seen that original, and it scared the shit out of me." So like it's known. It's a known film. Like people know what it is. It's I think it's really gone viral, and I think that one of the cool things about it was, and this is hugely factoring into my rating. I believe that the trailer became like the most viewed trailer ever or something on YouTube in the time frame that it was released. So
that's because 12 and 13-year-old kids were clicking on that shit left and right.
That is huge. No. I'm gonna come in at a whopping, and this is probably crazy, but I'm gonna say 59 million.
Oh, betting with your heart. Nice. I like to hear that.
59 million.
I'll take
it. A little bit even higher than what I was going to go. A little bit too high.
I'm a little bit surprised. Fuck, dude. I don't know, man.
I think
with a tough one.
I think with it, the promotion on this motherfucker has been insane.
It's like the best promotion.
Who's doing? Warner Brothers, right? So Warner Brothers has done fucking mental promotion with this mofo. They've made a bus, a VR bus, and they've been traveling it around the country, bringing it to all these places, back in the day, Dr. Butcher MD running down the streets of New York saying all this stupid shit they did back in the day. So they made this VR bus, and they've been driving around and placing it places, and people go in and there's put on a headset, all that bullshit. And then they built a haunted house on Hollywood Boulevard somewhere, and that's been sold out every day. It's free. You just have to show up every day. And that's been sold out until the end of the run. And I think it's been going on, or it's going to be going on for 6 weeks or something like that. It's impossible to get into. So I think definitely people are really interested in this movie. I think it's going to it's going to crush it. I think IMAX is going to help it a lot, even though.
You going to give us a fucking number or what?
Well, let me tell you this. So these are some of the films that opened at 59 million. Monsters vs. Aliens, Star Trek Beyond, Jason Bourne, Pearl Harbor, Fantastic Four, Rise of the Silver Surfer, Hannibal, Toy Story 2, 22nd Jump Street.
Now, that's different, though, JP, because back in the day, movies didn't open up in 4,000 theaters like they did today. It would be 1,500, 2,000.
Yeah,
so
the ones that I'm talking about right now, Jeremy, is between 3,500 and between 3,200 and 4,000.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay. So with IMAX, I think it's going to help it a lot. So I'm going to come in at 55 million.
Oh, 55.
Skull Island came in at 61.
Yep, that movie.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
Which one?
Kong Skull Island from this year.
Oh,
yeah, crushed it, bro.
Yeah,
I wouldn't.
That guy graduated from my film school.
Yeah, I mean, it's a Kong film. I mean, it's going to do well.
What did you say, Jeremy?
5.
What was it?
55. 55.
55 and 59. So you guys are so fucking close. You going last year, kind of a little bit of advantage here. Yeah, this is a tough one, man. This is a really, really tough one. I didn't realize it was in 4,000 theaters. That's crazy talk. I was expecting maybe 28 to 3,000.
No way.
But why wouldn't I, though? I mean,
because Wish Upon was in 2,800 theaters, and that did shitty.
Yeah, but it's still a horror film, though. They generally don't get this type of push. How many horror films this year came out in 4,000 theaters?
This one?
Get out.
Exactly my point. 2 fucking films.
I think this and Split.
Okay, 3 fucking films out of all the theatrical releases this year? That just proved my point.
Dude, Split feels so long ago at this point.
Yeah, I saw that in the cinema, too. So I guess I get a little bit of... that's like the only films I've seen all year. Right there. Kong and fucking Split. Man, I'm gonna go... I'm gonna say 47. 47. I think it's gonna be under 50, and I'm gonna say 47.
Split actually had 3.3 thousand theaters.
What did you say?
So this is huge. Split only had 3,300.
It's still a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot, but this is massive.
No, that's a lot.
It is massive, though.
I can't believe it's getting.
Okay, what did you say, Moons?
47. I'm gonna say 47.
So I think you came in with the smartness because I think it's kind of silly to go above me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But you have a lot of room to work with, but with being below Jeremy and that far below me. So let's see here. Jeremy, I'm willing to take a bet with you.
Okay. Sounds good.
Accept?
Yep.
So 59 versus 55.
Yeah. I'll take a bet with all you fuckers.
I'll take a bet with Moods as well.
Yep. I'm on board.
And so, okay, just so we have this correct, Moods is betting Jeremy 47 versus 55. And whoever's closest wins. Me and Jeremy, 55 versus 59. That's very interesting. I mean, if it's under 55, Jeremy is going to take it. And then he has a little bit of room to work with if it goes above him as well. So, whew, and then finally, me versus Moods. Moods says 47. I say 55. So, or I say 59. Sorry, excuse me. Yeah, so that's Box Office Brawl. We will be back the second week of September, which by then we should have the results.
Fuck yeah, man. Yeah, that's crazy shit, man. 4,000 theaters, blew my mind. Blew my shitter out.
This is my most anticipated film, by the way, so you're damn right I want to cover it.
Yeah, it's one of mine too, actually. I even admitted that. You know, I'm really curious to see what they do with this. I hope they just they darken it up a lot. Yeah. I'm gonna be missing Ritter though. One of my favorites. No John Ritter.
No John Ritter.
Saddens me, man. One of my favorites. But anyways, let's move on here. Let's get into some fucking dead mail with the Jew.
Yeah, dead mail. So, digging into the Fangoria library, and this week decided to pull an issue from June 2002, and this has Dagon, right, Moods? You said it earlier.
Dagon.
And on the cover, this has Spider-Man, the Lucio Fulci connection, whichever, that's interesting. Eight-Legged Freaks gets much bigger. The article that I read in the Patreon live stream. So if you guys want something to fall asleep to, you can listen to that. Infested get the raid, and chubby house, Satan in the suburbs. So this is, like I said, from June 2002. So let's see what people in June 2002 were doing in the horror world. So this one comes from
a year I'm very familiar with.
Jonathan Watkins. Jonathan Watkins says,
"Hey, we have a dude in the group named Jonathan Watkins. I wonder if that's him."
Maybe it's him. Last night I went against my expectations and forced myself to see Blade 2, and I'm glad as hell that I took the chance on it. Blade 2 is not only an improvement on the original, which I really didn't care for, it's an incredible orgasmic gore fest. So far, it's Del Toro's best film. The whole time, this is in 2002. No Pan's Labyrinth yet. I know. The whole time I watched this, I was reminded of Aliens because, like that masterpiece, this is a film that never lets up and throws everything at you, including the kitchen sink. David Goyer's script has some minor flaws, but he also written an incredible joyride through the world of vampires and created great new enemies that even give all the fans creeps. The Reapers are instantly among the greatest horror movie villains ever created. After this movie, I kept checking my chin to make sure I didn't have that nasty scar. The only real flaw in the film were with Whistler. I just didn't see the point to a lot of his actions, and I really didn't like Chris Offerson in the role. And some of the people revealing themselves for who they really are at the end seemed a little rushed. But put those few minor quibbles aside, and you have a very well-made horror film that I'll watch many times in the future. Can't wait for Blade 3. Well, too bad it's not Blade 3.
Yeah, sorry to disappoint with Blade 3. Blade 2 is a good movie. Like, I remember when we covered 2002, it was one of my more surprising watches because I was like, oh, damn, Blade 2 is actually a really fucking entertaining movie. But this guy's praise for it is a little bit ridiculous when saying that the vampires are among the greatest horror villains ever. That is a ridiculous statement.
Yeah, I agree, man. That shit made me laugh, dude. That was awesome. I never liked Blade 2 when I first watched it, to be honest. I was not a fan.
Well, it's not even a top 10 of the year.
No. No. It didn't make any of our lists? No.
No, it didn't. In fact, I could actually tell you where around Blade actually ended up on my list because I still have my rankings. But Blade 2, I actually like more than the first Blade. You know, it's one of those films that, like, I think does improve on the sequel, or improves with the sequel, but it's definitely not like, you know, an amazing movie. So let's see where I had Blade 2 at. Blade 2 was actually number 13 on my top list, which includes about 45 films.
Damn.
So number 13. So not definitely, you know, up there for sure. I had it about 2 spots above Resident Evil.
Well, we'll get there in a second.
Okay.
Okay, this one comes, now we have 2 about Resident Evil. We have one from Peter De La Rosa, and he has no address. So I just returned from seeing Resident Evil, and all I could say is that it rocks. Some diehard fans are going to be disappointed in the storyline, but this film is full of action, suspense, a killer soundtrack, and a great cast led by Mila Jovovich. The gore factor isn't as high as one would think, so gore fans are going to be shocked. I hope there will be an unrated version when Resident Evil comes to DVD, and I cannot wait for the sequel. Okay, Peter?
So I was actually kind of surprised with Resident Evil on Revisit 2. It actually made my number 15 spot right above Ted Bundy. It had potential to make my list, like it did, but there was just too many heavy hitters towards the end. Resident Evil is just one of those movies where if you're a huge fan of the games, you cannot bring that into it with you because it's not the games. There's references to the games, but it just doesn't have the feel, the style, really anything to do with the games except for references. I'm a huge fan of the games. The first, 3 or 4 games are classics and among my favorite games ever. But I think that the Resident Evil films are actually fun, and that's what it comes down to. They're pretty fun.
I only like part.
I'm not even overly familiar with. I've played I believe the original Resident Evil game, and thought it was pretty cool.
Best one.
I don't remember it a whole lot. It's been so many years, but I'll admit, man, I'm not a fan of the movies, man. I'm just not a fan of that. I'm really actually kind of surprised that you do, or that you liked it as much as you did, because I know you're not a big fan of like over stylized type things. And
that movie's really stylized.
Yeah,
it's very action oriented.
Yeah, it seems to have all those
CGI
elements that you wouldn't really care for, and it's exactly the reasons why I don't care for it. I just don't. I honest to God, I get a little bit bored watching it too, and I don't know. It doesn't do it for me, man.
I just really think I like the subtle references to the games, and I actually like Mila a lot, and Michelle Rodriguez, I really like her character. I only seen up to part 3, and I didn't like part 3. Part 2 is the best in the series. Totally. This is actually a series that I would like to cover one day on the podcast, just because I know will be mixed, and it'll kind of be, it's just something out of our norm to cover. So I would like to eventually cover it on this show, but that's not for a while.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've only seen the first 3, and definitely part 2 is probably my favorite one too. I mean, if I was to pick a favorite out of those 3, but yeah. I don't know. I think it'd be pure torture for me, because the new one just came out. So there's 6 of them. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I believe there's 6.
So there's 6 films now, and it's.
I would like to do Underworld as well.
Yeah,
because those are like, I put those in I lump those in the same vein as Resident Evil, except for I don't like Underworld.
Very, very much the same stylized type films, and I get what you're saying, man. I'm not.
They actually annoy. Like Underworld is even more stylized, and actually annoys me. Mm-hmm. Like I used to watch Face Off a lot, and they're Patrick Lussier, the creator of Underworld, Rise of the Lycans, or something, and I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. CGP, I think this is interesting. This next piece here from Mr. Tad Heathcote. He says, instead of criticizing Resident Evil for all the things it did wrong, I will write one praising its efforts. First off, Resident Evil is a breath of fresh air from recent CGI-ruled fare, which is total bullshit, because that movie has some of the worst CGI.
Yeah,
I was just going to say, what the fuck is this guy watching?
Though it does use some to its advantage.
Today, Junior?
Oh, no, it does not use CGI to its advantage, because one of the first things you see is one of the first zombies is CGI too. Like the one that is missing half its head.
The zombie and undead dog makeups are executed very well. Many will cry that the movie isn't faithful to the game. That is true in many aspects. However, it does succeed in presenting the same claustrophobic atmosphere that the game creates. Sure, I would have loved to have seen some of the Resident Evil original characters and plot twists, but how much could you expect from the honchos in Hollywood? Mm-hmm. Being the Living Dead fan that I am, I was very happy to see an homage to George Romero in his films. Part of me wondered the whole time I watched Resident Evil how this version would have turned out. At least this way, with influence from the cult flicks Romero has created, he is still respected and recognized. For those who complain that Resident Evil ripped him off, I ask, why wasn't the game itself heavily influenced by Romero's work? If so, why shouldn't the movie be? Resident Evil could have been made 1,000 different ways. If I had the director's chair, I would have done things differently. At least this Resident Evil is a little more decent than most of the stuff that gets screen time.
So I think that dude's obviously off base. I think the way you actually do Resident Evil is very hard if you want to be close to the games, because the games are puzzle games, essentially, the original ones. You know what I mean? So it doesn't make sense. You can't really translate that to movie. Now, what I would have liked to see is you set the first one in the mansion of the first game, and you make it a siege narrative, much like Night of the Living Dead, and you have an amazing movie. And as the characters eventually progress through the get pushed back and further into the mansion, you maybe have some of the other monsters there. You know what I mean? Maybe a couple references to the puzzle. The snake would have been cool if they went to the attic. You know, different things like that. You can definitely get into the cheesy territory there, but I think that the one cool thing about the first game is it is absolutely terrifying. It is a scary game, and you could have made a scary movie, but instead they went for an action-oriented movie.
Yeah.
Popcorn fluff.
Yeah.
From Ash Pocock. This reads, when readers rave, So, he says, if not for your recent feature on Scott Reynolds, When Strangers Appear, I would have assumed it was yet another trashy, cliched DTV thriller and completely passed this by on the shelves at my local Blockbuster. And it's actually one of the most compelling, engaging movies I've seen in years. Superb direction and photography approximately switched between an enormous sense of physical and psychological isolation and the taut, rapid-paced claustrophobia of the action scenes. It is generally exciting in an old-fashioned way. No postmodern irony here, with a script as effective and chilling, sparse as the setting and the strangers who populate it, avoiding getting bogged down with gratuities like what was on the CD-ROM. I strongly recommend other Fango readers rent this hidden gem of a thriller.
I have no idea what you said in that. I don't know what they're referencing.
Me neither. Moods, have you seen
You need
When
to pre-read
Strangers...
some of these, dude. So
have you seen When Strangers Appear, Moods?
I don't think so. I was trying to think, and I don't think so.
Okay. Okay, last one, and then we'll move on to the releases. I'm really upset that on your website you give terrible reviews to almost every film. There should be no question that movies like Blade 2, Brotherhood of the Wolf, Lord of the Rings, Ginger Snaps, Hannibal, Cherry Falls, and American Psycho deserve a 5-score rating. Well, why didn't you give it to them? Great movies like Jeepers Creepers, Joyride, The Cell, and Final Destination scored low, yet terrible movies like The Forsaken, Scream 3, Blair Witch 2, and Dracula 2000 scored high. What the hell?
Yeah, I mean, I think that some of those movies deserve 5 skulls or whatever the fuck they were giving them. Like Joyride is probably up there with like 4.5.
I don't know how to do this 5-skull rating shit, man.
Well, the way that I look at it is 5 does not equal 10, right? 5 is way more common. Like you can have pretty much anything that's 8 to 10 is a 5, right? If you transition your 10 scale rating to a 5 scale rating, like basically anything from 8 to 10 would be a 5, right? Isn't that how that would work?
Yeah.
I guess. So, yeah. I just always kind of like took the 5 and just kind of, if I was to go to a 5, I'd use my 10 scale and just basically divide it in half. So if I was giving a film 5 out of 10, I would just give it 2.5 skulls out of 5.
Yeah. So if you were giving it a 9, you would give it
like a 3.5.
No, it'd be a 4.5 or a 4.
Oh, given a 9. Oh, yeah. Sorry. I was thinking, never mind. I was thinking something totally different. Yeah, so it'd be 4.5. Okay, exactly. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I always find it interesting when readers like write in and say, and it doesn't happen that much on this show, surprisingly, that we're way off base with I think that back then, it was much different than now, where with social media and with YouTube and all that stuff, people like realized that, hey, this is all opinion. Back then they were looking at it like, hey, you're saying this as if it's fact. I think that that's why people got so angry back then. But that guy's list of movies that he was like saying should be 5 skulls is like, both lists are kind of have faults. Like,
I think it's because people look at the writers for Fangoria as like, you know, these professional type writers, professional critics and things like that, and they just kind of
the reason they do that is because they do have influence. Like if you see, they have street cred essentially, like, and that's why people have problems with, because you're influencing people, so you actually are causing change and causing flow of things. So I guess that's why it can be problematic.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so this is what comes out on VHS in June of 2002, and just by looking at this page, this clearly shows what the fuck was going on in June 2002 in the horror world. So we have She Creature from Columbia TriStar.
Mm-hmm.
That looks like crap.
It's a TV film, isn't it?
We have Dark Asylum from Lionsgate.
Never heard of it.
Winter Lily from Vanguard.
Never heard of it.
Unseen Evil from Monarch. And Stage Ghost from Spartan.
Never heard of it.
The fuck is Spartan?
Wow.
Covers look like ass.
Wow.
She Creature, I actually own that.
Okay, so those are the VHSs. Now let's see what's on DVD. Hopefully we have a little bit better fare. Yeah. So this comes from DVD Dungeon. Doom, doom, doom. We have Donnie Darko.
Nice.
The Others. 13 Ghosts.
Nice.
No Telling, which I don't know what it is. Cannibal Apocalypse from the Euro
Is that the
Shot
Fessenden
collection.
film? Is it the Larry Fessenden film? Yeah, okay.
Session 9. The Watcher in the Woods. And Rape of the Vampire.
Huh.
Which is the Gene Roland film.
Yeah.
Wow. It's like all over the place there.
What's your retro pick of the week?
Session 9, hands down.
All right. So everybody listening from 2002, go out and get Session 9.
Yeah, Session 9. Pick up that Blu-ray from
DVD.
No, well, DVD. And here is an ad from 2002 for Cinema Wasteland.
That's fucking awesome.
October 4th, 5th, and 6th.
2002 in Strongville, Ohio, the same place where it is today.
Yeah, it's always been there. Same showroom, everything. Yeah.
Tickets, $10 for a 3-day pass.
$10 for 3 days? Mind you, it hasn't gone. I mean, really, it's what, $30 now? So that's not too bad. 15 years ago.
Cutthroat Video, Phantom Video, all these awesome places. Unearthed Films. So some places that are still around.
Unearthed's been around forever, huh?
So that is...
That's about the time they came out, too. That's interesting. That's cool.
That is Dead Mail from June of 2002.
That's cool, man.
You guys enjoyed it this week?
Dead Mail. Yeah. And that, yeah. Cool stuff.
Still don't know what that Strangers movie is.
Yeah. Actually thinking about that, too. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that is. Okay, so that's going to conclude Mood Swings. Get into WWW portion of the show.
Oh my Jesus fucking Christ. What we watched. How hard is it to say? Use the same amount of breaths to say WWW than you just say what we watched.
Because WWW sounds cooler.
It does sound cooler, man.
Sounds retarded.
Jeremy, I know this has been brought up before, but do you ever call it like World Wrestling Entertainment?
Oh my God, this is totally different.
How's it totally different?
It's abbreviated WWE.
God.
It's not. Whatever. It's the same fucking difference, man.
It is. Do you say total nonstop action wrestling?
I don't watch TNA, so it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Because no, you sound like such a fucking nerd if you would say that out loud.
Only redneck losers like Jerry watch that shit. I don't watch that shit.
Good shit, man.
Do you say you're going to the Department of Motor Vehicles?
There's a point that we abbreviate these things that just sound cooler.
Yeah.
Definitely
come on,
sound
dude.
Cooler. Yeah, man. Who wants to go first here?
I'll go. So the one and only film that I watched this week, besides the things that we were covering, is Annabelle 2 Creation, or just
average.
Jeremy says this film is average. One, he's wrong. Okay, and I'm gonna break it down. So the synopsis basically, Jeremy gave a huge spoiler away in his review that was really annoying to me because it's a reveal at the end of the film. So like I knew that going in. You said how the Annabelle doll was essentially created, and that's a huge spoiler because it's a reveal.
How is that a reveal?
Because the wife reveals it at the end, and it's a huge
But you
scene.
see it in the beginning, though.
No, you see how they make the doll. You don't see what the doll is when it's possessed. You gave away why that happened.
Oh, that's some shit.
You did. You spoiled it for me, Andy. Basically, we have a couple. I mean, to be fair, it is kind of not a huge twist or anything. Like you can kind of put it together. That's what's going to happen. But it just, if there was a little bit more mystery, without being spoiled, it probably would have flowed a little bit better, but it's not a
suck my cock. I didn't ruin that fucking movie for you. Don't give me that shit.
No, you didn't, because I still really like the movie. So it follows it's set. I think it's set in like the 40s or 50s. I can't really tell. There's like a jump forward in time, like 12 years. But it's basically on a farm where there's this, old school couple who have a baby, husband and wife, a little girl, and she's tragically hit by a car. 12 years later, they open up their house as an orphanage and bring in a bunch of young, I'd say anywhere from like, 8 to like 12-year-old, 13-year-old girls.
No, they're like 15 or 16, I think.
All of them?
Look at their tits.
Oh, dude.
I'm just come on, man.
Like the girl with the walking disability, she was think 14?
No, I think she was 12, but the older girls were 15 or 16.
Yeah, okay, so I said up to about 15, 14 or something. Okay, okay, so a bunch of young girls, some younger than others. I'm not good with ages, honestly. I really am not. But so essentially, there's one girl with a disability. She, I guess, what is it, like polio or something? I don't even know. She, is walking with like canes or crutches or something like that. And essentially, it's a haunted house flick. You know what I mean? And to me, one thing that automatically makes this film above average is the camera work. Very, very good camera work. There's a lot of flowing shots that go up, over things, down. Dude, the camera shots alone and the sound design make it above average, 100%. The next thing that makes it above average to me, and I'm directly disputing Jeremy's argument that this is average in my review. This film is scary.
How is it scary? It's one jump scare after
proving a Jew wrong.
Honestly, bro, there are not that many jump.
It is scares. The whole movie is jump scares,
dude. Your interpretation of what a jump scare is or a boo scare is wrong. You're thinking that anytime there is a scare, that it's automatically a boo scare. That is
they're
not
all boo
true.
scares.
There's a lot of times where there is not no loud noise that jumps and makes you jump. It's actually like a fucking evil face on the screen or like something like that just comes into this frame. Like, that is not a boo scare. You know what I mean?
That only happens once.
Scare.
That happens once in the movie, that an evil face comes in the screen.
Okay, what about the scares where
under the pill?
The girl grows, right? That is not a boo scare. What about the
but it's not scary, though.
It is scary. It is scary.
It isn't scary.
Listen, Jeremy's the type of dude that'll sit there, cross his arms, and be like, "Scare me." You know what I mean? Like, you have to be in the mindset to where you want to feel that level of fear, dude. Like, it's a fun experience.
In 25 minutes, we'll talk about a film that scared me.
Yeah,
but this one didn't scare me.
This film is actually more scary than the film you're talking about.
Oh, you're so full of shit.
This movie is, this movie has great scares in it. Not even. I'm not even saying that it has like scares here and there. This has great scares. It's a scary movie. There's one scene where the Annabelle doll like just gets a demonic looking face and is like, "I want your soul" or some shit. And I was like, "Yo, fuck that." That scared me. You know what I mean? There's another scene there. It does a really, really good job of being suspenseful up into the scare. You know that it's gonna happen. You know that there's gonna be a scary fucking face, or Annabelle's gonna move, or there's gonna be a demonic figure or something, and you know that it's gonna happen. Yet waiting for it is the scare. That's where it's really scary, when you're waiting for that stuff to happen. And I think that this is one of the more scary films I've seen in a little while, dude.
See, JP, when you said like you don't know if it takes place in the 40s and 50s, and the way that I dispute it is at the end. With The Nun, it says 1952. So that means that this movie has to take place prior to 1952.
No,
because the Nun
after 1952.
No, because the Nun's in the photo during the movie.
Which means that it would be.
Oh,
yes, yeah. Okay, so
See, it's starting to get into fucking like stupid headache chronological.
It's not, though, dude. It's pretty simple. You're just dumb as fuck is the problem. So it's a pretty simple continuity with the Conjuring films and the Nun films. I thought the reference to Nun was great. I thought that was one of the coolest parts of the movie because it's like you know what's coming next. I like that they're creating this little universe out of the Conjuring films.
Now, did you notice both of the Nun references?
I mean, the one at the very end of the film.
There's another one.
Yeah. The wheelchair. Scene.
There's one when she's looking at the picture of the nuns in the monastery, and I forget what character. I think it was the older.
Guy.
Yeah, he says, "Who's that?"
Yeah, and she's like, "Oh, I didn't notice that person."
Yeah, it's the nun.
Yeah, I love that one. That's the best reference.
But you gotta pay attention to it, you know.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I think that the setting to this film is really good. Jeremy mentioned that he thought that the film was really boring up until a certain point, but to me, I think that all that character development was good. You actually do feel bad for this little girl. Like she's I guess handicapped, and she's there's these girls that are mean to her and stuff like that. There's a really scary scene with the two girls under the blanket, and they hear the bell.
That's what I said. That's the only one where the face pops up on the screen. Is
that shit's scary. I don't care. I honestly really like this movie, dude. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's not The Conjuring, but it is very entertaining to me. I have not seen the other Annabelle. I haven't, but I can't imagine that it was this good. Because this one
sucked.
Yeah, it's horrible.
This one to me is a highlight of the year for me. I really loved Annabelle creation. And will it make my top 10? I don't know. My top 10's kind of heavy right now with films, but I'm coming in an 8 out of 10 for Annabelle creation. Solid watch.
5, 2, and 8. Wow, you guys are just worlds apart. Awesome.
Jeremy...
I can't wait to watch it.
Jeremy is one of those annoying viewers that'll sit there and be like one of those people that won't let themselves get into a movie and get kind of creeped out.
Oh, that's so bullshit. I got into
you know what?
3.
You're like, you cross your arms and you're like, this ain't scary. This ain't scary. You're one of those dudes, man.
You know what, man? I'm gonna fucking watch it tomorrow. I'm gonna go to the cinema and watch it. And I mean, I won't review it on here because I think you guys have covered that.
Listen, I honestly love movies in today's time that literally the entire movie's intentions is to scare you, because it is so much of a lost art. And it's one of the primary reasons I got into horror in the first place, because I like to be scared. And it's such a rarity that it even happens now. And that's why I liked Annabelle 2. And that's why I'm looking forward to it, because it looks like it's a film that's intentionally trying to scare you. And it is a complete lost art, especially on the indie level. It's almost non-existent. So I give it credit for that for sure. Carly gave it a 7 out of 10, just for those of you.
I have a distinct feeling I might come in around a 6.
Probably.
I'm not going to go with any precursor. I wasn't. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard not to right now, since I've listened to both you guys review this.
Shit creepy. Honestly, they do scare me a little bit. Not in real life, I don't find it practical. But I the way that I watch these movies is I say, what if I fucking seen that? You know what I mean? And if I seen that, if that really happened in front of me, I would be fucking so scared. And that's how these films are effective to me. And that's why I found footage films that are scary, honestly, are effective for me.
Yep.
Yeah. Interesting. Jeremy?
All right, JP. Promise is a promise. So last week I promised JP that I will watch this movie. And I did. From the year 2014, released in 2017, film by the name of Bag Boy Lover Boy. So, what can I say about Bag Boy Lover Boy? Very peculiar movie. It's a different kind of a movie. If you guys are fans of films like Chocolate, Strawberry, Vanilla, and Worm, and films like that, this film has a very similar kind of a feel to it. Similar kind of premise with an offbeat character, loner in society. But it's done in a different way. Kind of compared it to an Italian sleaze film a little bit, but that's probably a shitty comparison. But it kind of has that kind of feel towards the middle of the film a little bit. So we follow Mr. Albert. Albert, like I said, is an offbeat, weird character. You can tell his IQ isn't the highest. He's just floating around in society, just getting by. He works in a hot dog stand, and he is approached one night by a heavyset gentleman, clearly maybe a little bi, named Ivan. And Ivan is a photographer who is a dude who takes fetish photography, and he approaches Albert to come to his studio to participate in some of this photography because Albert just has that look. I don't get it. But he ultimately pretty much brainwashes Albert in a different kind of a way to, kind of tell Albert that he should become a photographer, or Albert believes he should become a photographer, and he follows certain traits that Ivan does in his photography, and it totally gets out of control near the end of the film. And that's basically your plot. This movie is, once again, it's a kind of a movie where the main character has to do a really, really great job to pull a movie off like this. Just like Chocolate Strawberry Vanilla, that guy did a really great job. This guy does a really fantastic job as well. He's really good. He has that weird look. He has that weird speech, the way he talks. And I just thought he did a really, really fantastic job. And, it's an interesting movie. I think it's one that you probably will have to watch again in a little while to maybe fully grasp some of the undertones that are going, that are happening in the film about society once again and things like that. But on my initial viewing, I really, really did enjoy the movie. It's very weird, very quirky. I love character pieces. It's some of my favorite films to watch. And the movie is not low budget whatsoever. I mean, it clearly doesn't have that big of a budget, but it's very polished, looks really great. Cinematography is really good. Everything does not scream low budget whatsoever. So I had to give him that. The movie, it looks like a movie. So if you guys get a chance, check out Bag Boy, Lover Boy if you like character pieces. I think you'd enjoy it. It's a little short. It's only 78 minutes long. Probably could have been fleshed out a little bit more.
I think that's one of the positives about it.
I disagree.
Yeah? That it's short.
I disagree.
Yeah.
Disagree with what?
That it could have been fleshed out longer. I think the running time was perfect.
Yeah, me too.
But if you guys get a chance, check it out. Another great release from Severin. I love that they're releasing some of these independent films. Did this one, they did Feed the Light. So if you guys get a chance to check it out, give it a shot. I come in at an 8 out of 10 with that one.
Man, I almost lost my shit, man. The part when he first starts directing that one girl and he's treating her like how he was being treated by the other photographer.
It's just such an uncomfortable. Every time that Ivan is taking photographs of Albert, it's so uncomfortable. I don't know why, but I was sitting there and I was. It's just because Albert very is uncomfortable moment because he's such an awkward person. He's such an awkward character.
But that's why he was. That's why his character in the film was picked up because he's so awkward looking, right? He was perfect for those type of fetish films.
Yeah, I called it like a cross between like May and like Napoleon Dynamite or something.
Yeah.
It's a really good flick. I actually came in at 8.2, but I actually raised my rating to 8.5 after thinking about it because the movie kept staying with me. I kept thinking about it for a few days, and usually when that happens, I come up another half point.
Yeah, man, that is. I absolutely love character-driven pieces like that are awkward to the point where you just have like this kind of smiling grin on your face the whole time. You don't really, you literally feel almost. You feel almost, like when someone does something embarrassing to the point where you actually feel embarrassed. That's how I get that feeling.
What it is, yeah.
I get that feeling when I'm watching the film. I almost feel for him. I'm just like, damn. But it's his acting that really sells it, man. It's like JP says, he's cast perfect. He has that really awkward. He's not only awkward looking, he talks awkward. You know, everything about him just screams awkwardness. The acting sells this whole story so well. He's fucking
that shit
perfect
with the
for it.
burgers, man. It was just making me laugh. That fucking shit with the burgers, because you know what was going on.
Yeah.
When with the burgers, dude. When he was selling burgers at the end of the movie.
Yeah, I know.
Oh yeah. It's been like a month since I watched it because I do my screeners on time.
That could have been like a whole movie by itself, you know?
Exactly. I mean, that's the sequel right there. That's the sequel.
Yeah,
what a great companion piece, though. What a great.
I think that one of the coolest things every year, and what keeps me going as a horror fan is when I find little movies like this. Like, I love them. Like, they stick with me. They're just so fun. You know, they show you the creativity is still very much alive in filmmaking, and I look forward to these type of movies every year.
Yeah, it's a great companion piece with chocolate strawberry vanilla. I mean, like you said, man, it's one of my favorite films of the last few years. I absolutely love that piece. I love slow driven character pieces that are awkward, and this would be a great double.
Did that make your top 10 last year? Strawberry chocolate vanilla?
It's a few years old.
It was in 2014, I believe, or 15, something like that.
It didn't make it then either. I don't think.
I think it was one of those films I saw in between.
Oh, okay.
I think that was kind of the because it didn't get released over here until after, but I got in a I don't know. It was one of those weird independent or in between releases that missed the cut, kind of like fucking.
How is while we're on the topic, really quickly, how is your 2017 lists taking shape?
I actually watched a couple films last night from 2017. Neither of them I'm going to review, but I did watch The Transfiguration.
Yeah, that's on Netflix right now.
Yeah, I recommend it. Really, really good. I didn't realize it was set in a fucking ghetto.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm gonna check it out soon.
The lead character is a black. He's like he's like 16, kind of adolescent type thing. And basically, in a nutshell, this one is kind of like the hood version of Martin, without saying anything else. I really, really fucking enjoyed it. It's got a lot of great subtext to it, man. The ending's fucking awesome. Really good shit. And I also watched The Ice Cream Truck. That's a strange one. It's a strange one. It's definitely it's not going to be for everybody, especially the reveal at the end. I think is really not going to sell the film to a lot of people. I think that's going to kill it for a lot of people. It didn't bug me as much as like the initial reveal. I was like, oh, fucking kid. I had one of those moments, and then I kind of thought back on it. I was like, it was okay.
So how many have you seen?
I am up to 46.
All right, what about you, Jeremy?
I think I'm up to like 35-ish.
Yeah, I think I'm between 30 and 40, somewhere around there. But I'll be honest, man, I have, like, right now, I could roll with the top 10 that I would be pretty cool with.
Is Bag Boy counting for this year?
Yes, it is, because it had a festival release in 2015, I think, and it didn't have like a media release or a VOD until this year.
Okay, well, I guess I should write that one in because, yeah, I watched that too. So,
yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty happy with the films that I have so far.
What did you give that one, Jeremy? 8 out of 10?
Yep.
What did you rate it, GP? Do you remember?
8.5 Bag Boy.
I think that's what yeah, that's about where I am too. 8.5. I know I wrote it down somewhere, but yeah. Cool stuff. Yeah, there's still quite a few films I need to see from this year. Like I haven't seen fucking I don't know what are some of the bigger ones. Cure for Wellness, is that where Jeremy? I know you watched it. You said it was boring as shit.
Yeah. No, it's not boring. It's just long. It's like it's like 2 hours and 40 minutes or something.
Or was it Life? Was that the one you said was boring?
Life, yeah.
That's the one. Okay.
I hated that movie.
I think I've caught up on a lot of the big heavy hitters, so I'm not doing too bad right now. But alrighty, so getting into my Italian Stallion of the week, of the show. This is coming from 1970, directed by Massimino Dallamano, and we are actually going to be covering this awesome director during the next Italian month, and this is one of the films that we are not doing. Dallamano actually doesn't have that big of a filmography, oddly enough. He only directed films for like about a decade, which is kind of a shame considering how many good ones he really did have. Not really 100% familiar with his story and why he stopped directing, because he died like 30 years later or some shit. I don't know. But this one is called The Secret of Dorian Gray. If you guys are familiar with the Dorian Gray story, it's based on a book. Oscar Wilde's famous novel, probably one of the most famous books around. The book has been adapted into films like it's uncountable. I think the first one might have been in the 40s. This is one of the ones from the 70s. There's quite a few from the 70s, actually. And I know there's one as recent as 2009, which I believe is even on Netflix as we speak. So never seen that one. I've seen a couple other adaptations that are titled differently, but yeah, I was really curious to check this one out because coming from Italy, generally you're going to get some fucking sleaze in there. If you're not familiar with the story, basically the story is about a young, really, really good-looking guy. In this case, played by Helmut Berger, who of course plays Dorian Gray. He's kind of a rich little pretentious asshole that inherited a shitload of money from his family, and he lives that life. He's just a rich asshole. So basically, well, at first he's not so much of a rich asshole. He's just kind of a little bit pretentious, but which leads me into the fact that he's basically getting a portrait painted of himself. And when we first get introduced to his character, he's kind of like, he's rolling with these rich folks, and he kind of has that little bit of attitude and stuff. And once his picture is done, his whole attitude changes. He gets a look at this picture, and someone mentions the fact that, you're a young, beautiful man, and, as time goes on, you're going to age. And, basically all you have in this life to get ahead is your youth, your beauty and stuff. And he kind of takes that to heart. So when he looks at this picture, he continues to say, he's like, well, as you're growing old, what's going to happen is that picture is going to stay beautiful and young. And it really gets to him. It really gets to him. And so what he does, he kind of sells his soul to the devil a little bit to maintain his youth. And from that moment on, he has this girlfriend, and he basically just fucking smacks her in the face, kicks her out and shit, and just goes on like a sexual downfall. And his whole character just goes into the depths of the darkest areas and stuff like that. And as this happens, the picture starts to age. Right, but he stays young and loyal to his youth and things like that. So that is the setup to the film. My thoughts on this film. First off, I have to say the casting in this film is absolutely 100% perfect. They couldn't have cast a better person than Helmut Berger for this role. Not in a gay way or anything, but he's a very beautiful male. Like, he is elegantly casted for this role. Like, you couldn't have picked someone better. He's got that luscious blonde hair, great body, everything. But it's perfect casting for this film, and I think he does a really good job. I think up to this point in his career, he hadn't had a whole lot of like main leading roles and things like that. But this one, he kind of knocked it out of the park. He plays a great character in this one. So essentially, what this piece is, it's just a character study of Dorian Gray and his downfall into the depths of essentially selling your soul, and you'll go to these great lengths to do whatever. He's just at a moral loss. He just doesn't give a shit. He's willing to break anybody at any time without feeling a little bit of remorse about anything he does in his life. And we follow this character throughout the film, and it's quite edgy and stuff. I really like Dallamano's direction in this film. I really like Dallamano's direction in this film because he stayed really true to the source material, but he made it his own film, which was really damn cool. Of course, being an Italian film, it's going to have its sleaze and stuff. And I had always heard going into this film that it was kind of pornographic. And that's not really the case. Honestly, man, a lot of the sex scenes that are in this film are kind of elegant, and they're really well done. You're not seeing like open vagina like you do in fucking other Italian films and shit. It's not like that, hardcore or anything.
Like Bad Boy?
Yeah, you're not seeing that type of shit. Actually, the sex scenes are pretty modest. They're pretty modest. They're pretty subtle and stuff. And I was like, okay, there's quite a bit of them because, the film is very sexually orientated. That's just what it is. And the thing about Dorian Gray, I'm not sure in the source material. I'm sure it is in the source material, but he actually is a bisexual man. And there is a couple odd scenes in this film that are beautifully shot. There's one scene where basically just looks at this black dude. They go into the bathroom and they're taking a leak next to each other in the urinals and they're just staring at each other. I'm just like, oh my God, it's like the most awkward fucking scene you ever saw. But yeah, no, it's really, really well shot. Like, I mean, if you guys are familiar with Dallamano's work and his giallos and shit, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This film actually came before Solange and, you know, Daughters and things like that. So I was quite shocked to see how well this film was constructed. I think it's a little bit too long for its own good, though. I don't know. This one ran roughly about 100 minutes, I believe, or something like that. But there was parts in it that felt really talky. I felt like it could have been chopped down a little bit, but it's an interesting take on it. I mean, I would like to see more adaptations of the Dorian Gray story, but this is a good one. I mean, especially if you love Italian cinema, you know what you're getting with this one. It's really well, like I said, really well shot, which is surprising. I mean, not surprising, but, you know, for Dallamano, I mean, it's not really that surprising, but yeah, it's an elegant film. I really enjoyed it. The ending's pretty cool too. It's got a really dope ending. I really enjoyed it. So I'm going to come in at about 8 out of 10 on this one. Berger sells this film big time. They couldn't have casted it any better. Awesome stuff. So give it a shot, man. Give it a shot.
Coolio.
So I'm done talking. Cool. I know no one's ever listening to it. I'm fucking reviewing.
Yeah, you said the guy was gay. I played Fag from Bill and Ted.
And it didn't break my concentration. It didn't even break my concentration.
It actually sounded like Jeremy. Like that actually sounded like him.
Yeah, that was his song right there. Yeah.
Featured.
I really like the way they did those scenes though, because it's really subtle too. Like if you were just half paying attention to, you know, exactly what he was doing, like they don't show physical contact male on male, but it's definitely there, you know. But pretty cool stuff. But yeah. All right. Moving into the featured double feature for tonight's episode here on
featured
episode
views.
111. We are going to take this to north of the border for you guys. Right to my stomping grounds. From
Vancouver.
Right to from 2011, Grave Encounters. So, Jeremy, why don't you enlighten us on your love for this film?
Well, first, let's do synopsis.
Okay, I guess we can do that. A little bit of a short synopsis here. For their ghost hunting reality show, a production crew locks themselves inside an abandoned mental hospital that's supposedly haunted, and it might prove to be all true. Yeah.
So when did you first see this, Jeremy?
First saw this, came out in 2011, sitting in my room, fucking like 11 o'clock at night. All the lights are off. This movie literally scared the living fuck out of me.
Mm-hmm.
It's so much the one film that scared the shit out of me just as much as The Strangers did, but 6 years earlier. Like you say, like I watch movies and I don't get scared. I cross my arms and I sit there. But it's like this movie like you're too much of that you could be scared though.
That's not true because you saw it when you were a kid though too. You know what I mean?
But it still did that to me when I watched it a few days ago.
He's insinuating that you're too big of a pussy to get scared.
Well, yeah, Jeremy, I'm saying, but like you've seen it at a time where you were not critiquing films and not like you were a younger kid. You know what I mean? And,
you were watching it with less of a critical eye.
Of course, now watching it, you're gonna still get those feelings that you had back then because it worked on you back then. So do you like the Blair Witch Project?
It was in my top. It was my number 2 most overrated movie ever.
Okay, but do you like it?
Yeah, I like it.
I mean, do you like? What would you rate it if you?
I don't love it like you do because I don't have that nostalgic feeling towards it. But it's a 9 out of 10. It's on the top 10.
Okay, because this movie is so similar in terms of like scares as like the original Blair Witch, in my opinion. Like if the things that scare you in this movie would also scare you in Blair Witch, I feel.
See, I didn't get that in Blair Witch. I don't know. I just think that the setting of an abandoned mental hospital just adds something to the feel of the film than The Woods does. I don't know. I don't know if it was just the creepiness of the hallways and things like that. I mean, the setting is so fucking great in this movie. It's so good. I just don't know if the open space of the woods, even though it's like a maze, the open space of the woods had the same claustrophobic feeling to me than a mental hospital that can't find the exit to.
See, I never compared the two at all, but if you want to compare the settings of the woods and this abandoned hospital, it's still that confinement. Either way you look, it's that isolation, that confinement. That's to me, they're comparable, man. I think they're both scary in their own ways.
I don't know. I just know that the bathtub scenes fucking still made me jump because I forgot about that scene.
Yeah,
and it still made me fucking jump.
Speaking of the setting in this film, shot in Riverview Hospital. Which is actually right off the Lougheed Highway in Vancouver. You guys would know that, but I have actually drove by this place 1,000 times. I know exactly where it is. It's actually only a couple minutes from my auntie and uncle's place, which is pretty cool. This place shut down a few years ago, though, I believe.
What's it called?
It's Riverview Hospital. And it's this place is like a monstrosity. It's huge. It's so fucking big, dude. Like, it's insane. I do know that it's been used in lots of films and TV and things like that. I know the X-Files film there. It's probably going to become more common considering I think it's abandoned now, kind of thing, right? So, or it's been shut down. So, as far as I know, there's probably nothing in there. I don't really know. But, yeah, it's a cool ass place, though, man. Really fucking cool.
Nothing scares me more than mental hospitals. I don't know, something about them like just gives me the willies.
Is it the fact that it's a hospital?
Yeah, I guess just that, but it's just like most of the time normal hospitals are cold too, but they just have that cold, depressing look to them. Like,
see, I get that vibe from the woods, cold and depressing.
Like, there's some crazy shit going on in there. Like,
yeah,
this is where all the crazy people go, and like they're usually not treated the best. So, I believe in ghosts, so I believe like,
and that is really what's cool about things that scare us is it is unique to the person. Like, to me, I've never once been afraid of hospitals or like mental hospitals or anything. I am scared of noises in the woods. Like, if you've ever been camping like deep in the woods or something, you hear some shit late at night and it's only you and one other person. That shit is terrifying. You know what I mean? So I come from a different camp in terms of like what scares me, but I will say that this movie is scary.
Yeah, it's dark and I thought it was executed really, really well, man. It doesn't have it doesn't have those cheap scares and things. But to be fair though, it has like similar scares to Annabelle, like, and that's why I didn't understand where you're saying that they're all boo scares in Annabelle, when this film has like similar scares. Is it accompanied? Does Annabelle have those scares where the score thumps in? It's got that huge kind of kick drum, and the score just goes overpowering in your mind and stuff. Because this film didn't really have that.
Well, I don't know. Like, okay, like the one where the girl's like face turns, like, isn't there a loud noise with that?
I mean, there could be. I mean, there's not.
Yeah, I'm almost certain there's
not like a full
noise
abundance to it, man. The
but
score is
that's
pretty
kind
subtle
of more so how Annabelle's are, and there's some legitimately not loud noises at all with them too. There are a couple that there is a loud noise with it, but it's like for example, like Annabelle, like it's a loud. There might be a little bit of score to it, but it's a voice too. It's like a loud like I want your soul or something. You know what I mean? Like, it's fucking terrifying to me. But this film, I think that honestly, like, the one thing that I really liked about it was the use of camera. You know what I mean? Found footage to me, I've went from, I like found footage when they're done right, to a full-fledged found footage fan. I love found footage films. They get under my skin and scare me more than most type of movies. The ones that are done good are just so you're so engaged in it.
It's the realism of found footage films, right? If you put yourself in those places, like, that's why the Blair Witch works so good, because it seems it's very realistic in itself.
Well, and like with this film, like, there's no jump scares for a while once they're in the hospital. So I think in the back of your mind, you're kind of like expecting something to happen when they're walking down the halls in the pitch black, and they're like, just walking around and nothing's really happening. And they turn a corner and they look in the doorway and it's just an empty room, and they just turn the camera back around and keep on walking down the hallway.
They also foreshadow that too, though.
The first scare period involves just the door. You know what I mean? It's just a door that closes.
Yeah, they foreshadow that too, because like the caretaker even says, he's like, "Well, you think it's dark in here right now? Wait till later," kind of thing, right? So you're like, okay, yeah.
The biggest complaint that I have with this movie is I find that some of the acting is a bit bad, honestly. Like the black guy in particular, like TC or whatever his name is.
I didn't like the medium. I didn't like the medium.
He's overacting.
He loses points for me, man. And his character is like, I understand, like if you're trapped in a situation and or if you're in the situation, everything's locked up, and all of a sudden the hospital starts kind of changing on you and shit. Yeah, you're probably gonna start freaking out a little bit. But this dude is like completely.
His way of freaking out just didn't match with what would freak out.
It was ridiculous. Like he wasn't even trying. There was no period of being calm. He went from, you know, being this character to like just full fledged, just freaking out the whole. There was no medium ground.
Was his F word super annoying?
Oh, dude,
he said "fucking" after every fucking word, and it was annoying. He sounded like Jeremy times.
So why the hell did you Gutterballs? They same thing as Gutterballs.
Gutterballs is a completely not serious movie.
I know,
but that's the difference in it. This guy is completely overacting, dropping F-bombs every 2 seconds. But there's like no medium there. He just went to like 100%, just until he fucking gets taken out in that. In the bathtub, you know, kind of thing. But yeah, dude, that was definitely losing it for me a little bit. I was like, oh my god, over the top annoyance.
Him in the medium, man. I didn't like the medium character either. He just annoyed me. He was a pretty shitty actor too.
It's been a while since I've watched like a scary found footage film, like one that's actually like serious, you know, and things like that. And it made me, these movies really made me want to revisit some found footage films. Like, it's funny that Dave's currently
in a bad way though.
What?
In a bad way, they make you want to revisit.
No, I think in a good way.
No, I just said in a good way.
Yeah, okay. I just didn't want to. I was just thinking like, oh, you're thinking like, oh, I want to watch some good found footage films.
No. I like these movies, but what, like, I'm talking about like Paranormal Activity, like Atrocious,
the Tunnel, dude.
The Tunnel, like different scary movies that like, because this movie reminds me a lot, like these movies. I think Paranormal Activity has a very similar vibe with this one too, because Paranormal Activity starts out so slow where it's just like something moves, you know what I mean? And it's fucking, if you're into the movie,
he's trying to convince us it's good, Jeremy.
No, you guys will, dude, if you like this movie, I don't see how you can't like.
I saw Paranormal Activity back when I was 14 years old.
Yeah.
I may look at it different. I haven't seen it since then, so, you know, maybe I'll have a different opinion about it. I didn't like it.
Man, I really like the setup to this, man.
You guys not liking it if you like these type of movies.
I'm not even a big fan of like, you know, reality shows and things like that. But this whole reality show type, I guess in a way it is kind of, you know, ghost hunting. It's, you know, it's very,
you know what's funny, dude, is in my head I knew that was what these movies were about. And in my head I just I felt like it's cliche because I've seen it done so many times.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was done before this, after this, but no matter what, this one does it well, whether it's been done before or not. Like, so I actually really like the setup, even though I thought it was going to be lame and cliche.
Yeah, I mean, it's the way they set it up, though. I like how they're going around and they're interviewing everyone that's around the abandoned hospital and stuff, and then they come to the garden, or to the character, or not the garden, to the gardener or whatever.
Caretaker.
And he's like, so have you seen any ghosts? He's like, no. So they just stop rolling. They're like, they pay
that was
some money.
The second one. That's in the second one, bro. Oh no! Do you have any petty cash still? Yeah, I have some.
What the fuck? Yeah,
that's in the
about?
first one. It's in the first one.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And then I just like the tone switch, because at first, like, you're kind of on board with the lead character here, the host of the show, that he's really into this, but you can tell he's a little bit cynical, and he's not like 100% like, I don't know, man. There's just something about his characters coming off like kind of funny.
Well, he's kind of bullshitting it too, like he's playing it up.
But then I love when they actually show it straight up, that he's like, "Okay, you need to say that you saw a ghost," and he's like,
"Yeah, I saw a ghost through that window.
I saw a ghost over there," and he's like, "Oh, this might be one of the biggest hot spots ever."
Yeah, I love that. I love it because it's like those shows are such bullshit, and people just love them.
They were poking fun at it big time, and it worked. It was a great tonal switch, because at first you're not 100% sure if these guys are fully on board with what they're doing, but then that moment you get that relief right there, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, okay, now there's a little bit of comedy in here, but it's not like meant to be like, you know, hilarity. It's just they're poking fun at the whole reality ghost
These
hunter
movies
thing.
are so effective for me because I am very cynical when it comes to ghost. I am very non-believer when it comes to ghosts.
Yeah.
And I always think like, okay, what if, because that's something that I would do. I would go into an abandoned mental hospital and not be afraid. But then I'm like, well, what would happen if I, went there because of my beliefs, and then it turned out that all this shit started happening? Like, how much I would regret not believing, how scary it would be. Like, to me, I could put myself in this situation so much that it just freaks me out, you know?
Fucking way. Couldn't pay me. But legit, you couldn't pay me.
Like, to me, the scene where the chick, like, her mouth goes all like black and blurry and like wide, it's not really scary to me.
No, it's poor CG, man.
It's like, I know that I've seen that face in places before,
but it's not that moment that I don't think it was that moment that creeped me out. I think it's just like the dark hallways and the silentness, not much of a score, not much of a sound design. It's just the characters talking and darkness. Can't see what's in front of you. You don't know what's going to see in front of you. Then every once in a while,
it's very tense when they're slowly, like, especially the end of the movie when he's slowly like into the basement and shit, and he's like slowly moving, and then you like see people. Like, it's just like that slow build is the fear to me.
See, I give the filmmakers a lot of credit, the Vicious Brothers. I give them a lot of credit for not using a lot of score, because a lot of times when you're watching these type of films, they'll overscore.
Found footage should not have that much score at all.
It really shouldn't. That's what makes it more effective, because if you can make a calm, quiet film with natural scares, then you're doing a good job. If you need those kick drums, you need that loud explosion of a score to fucking, work something out with your audience, it's cheapening the film. And in this case, it didn't do that. And I thought it was really, really damn effective. The setup along with, the setting and the darkness of it, and just how they approached this film was perfect. They didn't try to go too big. They just kind of let it flow. And, one of my biggest complaints with found footage films that I've always had with watching these films from over the years is the simple fact that there's always mistakes within a film.
Yeah.
With camera work. Every once in a while you're watching a found footage film and then you have this epiphany and you go, who the fuck is holding the camera right now? There's always that moment you're like, why is this being filmed? But in this one, they set it up. They specifically show you where they're putting all these cameras in all these rooms and things like that. And I was watching for things like this, and I think they did a pretty good job with handling how the footage was edited within the content of the film. And I thought it was really fucking well done. And I respect that, because they took the time, to actually do that. And, there's just so many films.
It. And then it connects with the second film.
Yeah.
Finishing the film,
So I like that in this film they obviously have a reason to be filming. And that's usually a big problem with found footage. Hey, drop the camera, don't worry about filming. But they have lights on them and they have no other lights. So it makes sense that they're actually using them. Plus they have infrared as well, which they can look through and see their way around. So do you guys have much more on this one, or you want to get into ratings?
I just one of my favorite moments in the film actually is right towards the end. But when there's two characters that are sitting on the ground and this kind of fog kind of rolls in.
Yeah. Oh yeah, good moment.
Dude, that was a great moment. I was like, oh, that's
one
so
of my
cool,
favorite
man.
ones is the light tipping over when they're all sleeping.
Dude,
I really love the setup of the, it's 3, like the time says that it's like 8 p.m. like the next day, and they're like, I'm a huge fan of fucking with time in movies, because it makes it just freaks me out, that concept.
I really enjoyed how they did that too, because they even make a point of saying, he's like, yeah, it says it's 1:30 on my watch, but I'm pretty convinced it's not. So it's like time is just like not even a factor anymore, right?
Yeah.
But if you notice towards, I would say maybe the midpoint to maybe the start of the third act in the film, the time stamp in the cameras is all fucked up, because it's all fucked up because like the ghost, like the apparitions it's just going crazy. Right, they're affecting it so much, but they showed that it's subtle, but it's nice. It's a nice subtlety to see that.
I like cool. When he says that TC went to get a sandwich and it's just like all this moldy food. It looks like it's been there for weeks. Because it's creepy to me because it's like, oh, wow. So they've been gone really long.
I know. It extends like your not your disbelief, but it makes you wonder. You're like, how fucking long have they been in this place, right?
Yeah.
Like, I know that's really cool. And it's subtle too. It's like, oh, fuck, that's scary. Because they don't have any clues.
So go ahead and let's get into ratings.
All right.
I went first. Wait, never mind. I went first in what we watched. Jeremy, rating?
Grave Encounters from the year 2011. So I've always said since the beginning of the show, this is my favorite found footage film. I love this movie. It scared the shit out of me back in the day. Still found it really, really creepy. It goes up there with The Tunnel, The Blair Witch. It's being some of the best. Atrocious is good too, but nothing has the same kind of atmosphere as this movie does. It's just such a really fantastic movie. I love this movie. Sure, the acting is poor in some parts, but it's not worse than anything in Saw 2. So I am going to come in at a 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. Holy shit, that's very high for you. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, that's woof. Yeah. So I really like this movie. I just had minor complaints with the characters. They got a little bit annoying. I also have a similar problem in both of these films. And it has to do with whenever the reason Blair Witch works is because they're being haunted and then they get away and they're good for the night. And those slowly get stronger and stronger, but it doesn't have to do with them, they're still escaping it at night. Like when they're in this hospital and they keep escaping these things, it almost seems like, okay, well, why does it not just kill them now? Like I always have that issue with these type of movies.
Because they're fucking with them.
Why?
Because it's a mental hospital. People go crazy in mental hospitals.
I mean,
so it doesn't. What's the point of killing them? I think.
Well, why do they kill them at all then?
I mean, do they kill them?
Yeah.
Who do you see die besides the guy who gets strangled? The medium guy.
Okay. Well, anyway,
exactly.
I like this movie. Well, I'm trying not to spoil things, dude.
I'm just saying, nobody else died. You never see anybody else dead.
So where are they?
Maybe they're somewhere in the hospital.
If you don't have any evidence that they didn't die, then yeah. So yeah.
How did the main character not die?
Well, stop with the you're very bad at spoiling.
I'm just saying.
That is also. I mean, his character's in the next film.
Okay, but wait till we get there so we can say spoiler alert and stuff. I hate when you do that, dude.
He's on the back fucking cover of the DVD, bro.
Who cares, dude? I didn't look at the back cover of the DVD. I actually didn't know that going into the sequel. You know what I mean? So anyway, I like this film a lot. It's very solid. I'm coming in at a 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah, man, this is a good one. Got some really definitive scares in this one. It's a really dark, atmospheric, well scripted and directed film, man. I don't really have a lot of problems with it. Getting back to my minor nitpicking, I just wanted to say one thing. This is one thing that always has plagued me with watching found footage films. The whole camera thing. That's one thing. But another thing is transitions in found footage films that really get on my fucking nerves is when there's no need to pixelate the transition. Because
dude, I'm so glad you brought that up. I forgot to mention that. I fucking absolutely can't stand when they fucking pixelate for no reason. It doesn't make sense.
This is the thing. I've seen this in found footage films before, and there's been reason for it. It's been done good in some other films that I've seen, where a character will be holding a camera and they'll fall or trip or whatever, and then hit the ground and it'll pixelate, blah blah blah.
A little bit.
That's okay because if you're going to damage your camera, something might actually happen. I mean, it's explainable. Yeah. But if you're just going to pixelate every time you're transitioning, it kind of cheapens the feel of it. But if there's no reason to do it, then why are you fucking doing it? I understand it's for
it's
effect.
like characters are literally running and it starts pixelating. And I'm like, what the fuck?
I know, dude. It's just overused. I understand it's an effect thing,
crazy.
but it actually happens so often in this film. It was starting to get on my nerves a little bit. I was like, fucking hell, man. This always happens in these films. So I mean, it's more or less a cliche in these type of films. It just fucking always, you just kind of expect it, but something that always bugged me. But more or less, this film is really good. It's actually really, really good. I am going to come in an 8 out of 10 on this one. Really enjoyed it.
Nice.
Really good.
Nice. So next up, we have
jumping into 1 year later. They managed to make the sequel the year. I didn't even realize that until today. I was like, really? They made the sequel a year later?
Yeah, that's why they had to hire Cool Duder to be in it.
Yeah. So in 2012, Grave Encounters came out. This one was not directed by the Vicious Brothers. It's actually directed by John Poliquin. He's actually from Vancouver, so he's a local native of Vancouver. So I thought that was kind of cool. But it is written, did I say that? Written by the Vicious Brothers. Yeah, so quick little synopsis on this one. A film student who is obsessed with the movie Grave Encounters sets out with his friends to visit the psychiatric hospital depicted in the original film.
So meta, this movie. It's kind of crazy.
It really is. It is very, very meta.
It opens up
very
with
meta.
awesome nostalgic times, man, where like even the video quality of them, like, it just was such a different time on YouTube, just going back, 5 years ago or so. I started in 2012 on YouTube. Yeah. So it's really, really like, that was like the heyday for me. Seeing the dude say, "Oh, I got a video response," was so cool to me. Like, I love the beginning of this movie so much because it is so smart in taking this concept of a niche sort of community that only a few people know about, and really exploiting it in the beginning of this movie, and sort of using it as a tool to progress not only a story, but it's saying that they're aware of that. The people that do these reviews actually do help the genre and can help a film be successful. I love that little nod there.
And with that said,
I love how they have people who say like, "Oh, this movie sucks,"
and that too. I love that.
But they do it throughout the film. Not only, Jeremy, you said this film's very meta, but it's almost a satire at times too. They literally make fun of even the effects in the first film that we pointed out. The cheesiness of the, like, if you're gonna make a sequel, like, fucking use proper effects. No CG and shit. And I get a kick out of shit like that, man. It's kind of fun. It's subtle. It's not overly done.
They poke fun at the movie. They also, when it comes to like the way that the reviews are done. Now, I don't know if these were actually pulled from YouTube with permission or these were filmed for the movie.
I think I'm pretty sure they're pulled.
These are definitely pulled.
Well, obviously, besides the main character's review.
Yeah, for sure. But it's kind of funny. The very first voice in this film you hear, NC is Cool Duder.
But it's so classic, right?
Automatically 5 points negative.
No, dude, come on, be serious. That is a very significant member of the YouTube community, no matter how you look at him.
I agree. I told you that, dude. You fucking made fun of me. Moods makes fun of me in my video. I go, yeah, Cool Duder talked about this movie.
Yeah.
Like, and Moods goes,
well, we make fun of you because you talk so much shit on Cool Duder.
Well, you said cool dude for one thing.
Because he's different. He's different now than he was back then,
Jeremy was just a fanboy whose favorite guy grew up to be an asshole or something. But I love the opening to this film. I think that it's one of the coolest, most unique things that I've seen in a while. I actually had no idea that this film was doing that. And it literally tells this story based on this little situation.
Yeah.
I fucking loved it, dude. Like, it was so cool to me.
I do really like the setup here. Our main character, what's his name again? I'm so bad with names. Alex. He's writing a thesis on basically Grave Encounters, and he's trying to prove the fact that the first film, Grave Encounters, is actually not
real.
Yeah, or that he's trying to prove that it's real. And he gets this bright idea. The only way to kind of do that is to go there and kind of essentially make a film out of it or finish the film or kind of thing,
Finish
right?
the film.
So I really like the setup to this one. It's actually kind of cool.
Well, it's really
so
neat how it's done because they
neat.
don't. That's not his intentions right away. Like his intentions are really just like he reviewed this sucky film. He's in film school making his own film. This mystery sort of, takes over his life and invades his life, and it just has enough level of intrigue to get him to follow the rainbow just a little bit, and then a little bit more, and then a little bit more, and then he's full-fledged involved.
Well, he kind of gets that epiphany that, in the scene where we're shown the film that he's making, and he's like, "Okay, this third act sucks." He's like, "This is fucking terrible," and he kind of gets this idea where, if I went there, kind of take my thesis that I'm writing, and I combine it with, shooting an ending to this film within this place, we can kind of figure some shit out. So it was kind of cool, actually, how they developed that, too.
It's just such a unique idea that a sequel is trying to disprove that that the original movie is real. Like I said, it's so like, it's Blair Witch.
This is Blair Witch 2.
Yeah.
No, it really is. Like, it's set in the real world where Grave Encounters was a movie, but turns out it might actually be real. That's the setup to this film. I love it. I think that it's great. I loved it in Blair Witch 2. I love it in this film.
No, I do.
I think that it's
great.
so cool. And and the way they actually go in and they talk to the producer and the Vicious brothers, and they talk to they bring back the actor and they tie it all together. Like, I think that it is just way cooler. Like, why are more people not talking about this movie?
I know, right?
I love the setup to this movie. I truly do.
I love when he goes in there to talk to the producer of it.
Yeah,
and he has that hidden camera on him, and it's in black and white. And the sound's all muffled. That was
you barely hear it.
That was fucking genius because I literally had to turn up my stereo, right? My surround sound. I was like, holy shit, that's awesome. It's a nice little touch.
I just felt like I was at work when you went in that fucking soundstage. So that's what it's really fucking like that.
And they bleep the
hospital
actual hospital name. Like, that's so cool too. You know what I mean? And they go there, they check it out, like, and shit just hits the motherfucking fan once they get there. You know what I mean? I love the setup, and I love, honestly, the mythology that they set up in this film, because it is a little bit different than the first film. They add a much more craziness. They amp it up a little bit more. The ghosts are crazier. Yeah. But I love the character of the original guy returning, and I think that the concept of him being there for 9 years is fucking creepy, and I love the way he looks now.
Which I was so like. My concern with that though is how in the so after the events of the first film, why is that he is still alive?
Exactly. If he's still alive, then those other mofos are still alive. I'm just wondering because you never see him dead. You never see the other characters.
Let's assume
in the original film dead.
Let's assume that all the other characters from the first film are dead, because I mean that's kind of the assumption most people are going to get off this. Why is it he is able to survive another 9 years until some other people, basically break into this place to shoot their film?
Well, it could be because he got the lobotomy. And it's like now he's a patient here. You know what I mean?
See, that's what I kind of thought too. But I was like, so
he became a part of the asylum by getting that lobotomy.
So okay, with that said,
he also was in charge. That could have something to do with it. He was the one leading the exercise. Sometimes people just find. Why does anybody survive anything? You know what I mean?
So is he still not able to get out then? Or does he not want to leave?
Well, that's what he's trying to get out.
He's been trying to get out for 9 years.
Through the red door.
But it's just so it must be changing where he is then, because the kids got him pretty fucking easy kind of thing, right?
No, that's the concept, is that nobody else, like, if a security guard would come and go into the building, it wouldn't be like that. Whatever the way that it works, the magic, the occult system that they do, it's just like Blair Witch, right? I mean, like some people can go in the woods and be fine, and then these people go in the woods and for whatever
whoever
reason,
the hospital decides,
it's
just like the hospital decides who gets to leave. It decides the blah 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 gets to leave to finish.
Not to
the
mention
film.
he is in connection with somebody or some spirit or some demonic force through the writings on the walls and things like that.
Which is kind of unclear. Yeah, so I was just curious. Are you guys' thoughts on that?
Yeah, there's a little mystery to it, which I like.
But it's like they brought all those things with them so they don't get lost, but they really don't utilize it besides the fucking air horn. They brought that GPS. They say, we have a GPS, a high tracking GPS. And then we never see it again. It's like, what the fuck is that shit?
Well, I mean, it could have been a cut. It could have been a cut scene. You never know,
Why the hell aren't you pulling out your fucking GPS that you talked about 30 minutes ago?
Well, if a compass doesn't work, I doubt the GPS is going to work. I think when you see the fact that a wall appears out of nowhere, I think you could pretty much throw the compass.
And why
GPS
the fuck did those mofo spirits not fucking take the backpack away? If they didn't want anybody.
Well, I mean, you could raise a lot of questions. But
who says that they didn't want anybody to leave? And and that's always going to be a thing with ghost things. Why not just kill everybody all at once if you don't want them?
That's the thing. You can raise question after question, right? But there's really no technical answers to that. Yeah.
And sometimes with these movies, they're not strong until you fear more. Deeper into the story, they become stronger, be able to do more things. I think that. What's that?
I'm just confused as to why the main character in the first film gave up 9 years of his life, but the character in this film is in there for whatever, a few days, and the spirits get to decide that he's the one that gets to go.
I think it's explained. I think it's explained a tiny bit, maybe. I mean, you can read into this a little bit, of basically how. I mean, we didn't actually disclose that how Alex really does get there. I mean, he does have this idea, wants to do this, but once he starts getting emails from Death Awaits 666 or whatever the vlogger's name was, which actually turns out to be the fucking hospital itself.
Yeah. So the hospital called out to somebody because maybe it didn't see what it wanted to in this dude or whatever, the original guy.
It's almost like he called him, it's like, hey, I'm inviting you to come and finish your film at my place.
Yeah. And come on in.
Yeah. I mean, hence the ending to the film too, right? Because, it's like, kind of leads into that a little bit. So that's kind of how I took it. But
I love that this guy has been in here 9 years and he's like, now the house shifts, the hospital shifts, but there are patterns, see? And he opens up that door like 3 times and then it finally is like the other room. I just love that because it's like, okay, it's establishing a mythology. There are some sort of rules and reasons why these things happen. Yeah. Now, do we know all the reasons why? No, but are reasons? Yeah. And do we know that there are like a rhyme and reason to why this, to how this thing works? Yeah, and I think that that's cool because I like to have a little bit of rules because if there are no rules at all in ghost things, then it just becomes unfun because it's like overpowered. You know what I mean?
I just want to say this is bullshit. If you go on the Grave Encounters 2 IMDb page, the first person listed under cast is Sean C. Phillips.
He's the first person
like
you see
because they listed him in order of vloggers on there. That's what they did.
Order of appearance.
Order of appearance, yeah. That's why.
Yeah.
See, one thing I liked about this film too, man, like a lot of times in sequels and sometimes it'll get a little bit too comical and things. I think that they kept it down to a minimum, even though there is like a dude putting his balls on his buddy's face at one point.
Yeah, but that's at the beginning of the movie.
Exactly, I know. And I like that.
These characters.
See, there was jokes
I used to do that too. I used to put my balls on my buddy's face.
Dude, I have pictures of my balls on my buddy's faces.
Yeah,
but like even
I've seen them.
But the infrared fart though, man, was fucking funny. That shit made me laugh, dude.
Yeah.
But there actually is one scene in this film I didn't really care for overly that much. I thought it was just kind of going too far. Like it didn't really need to be there. Was the Ouija board scene. Honestly, I was just like, it came off as super uber cheesy. You guys know what I'm talking about? Yeah, like also like they're like playing this shit. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know, man. It just
How did it get there?
It seemed like it didn't need to be there at all. Like, I would have never thought of throwing that into a script. You know, it just seemed like, you know, if you're gonna, you know, establish a mythology within this place, like, you don't need the Ouija aspect of it, right? We're already haunted. We already have ghosts. We already have apparitions and fucking mutated hemoglobins, and I don't know where the fuck I'm going.
I know. I like how this is, like, the setup is where it's like so mysterious. Like, they covered this real shit up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just want to know why the fuck didn't they get a rope and climb down the window? That's what I want to know.
Where are you getting a rope at?
They said it was 85. They said it was 80 feet. I don't think I'd want to risk that either.
80 feet? That mofo was no 80 feet.
And then what happens is the ghost is just like, nah, dog, and just moves the rope. You know what I mean? Like,
dude, that was a terrifying scene, man.
Fuck that.
That was a terrifying scene.
Listen, I actually find this one more scary than the first. I was way more into this one.
I think that some of the effects in this one kind of bring it down a little bit, especially like you said,
the dude when he's running down the hall and he's like huge and he's like,
I like that, man.
The cover of the DVD gives away one of the apparitions in this film, and it's like, I don't know,
that
man.
thing scared me, dude. I was like, oh shit, because you have to imagine that you see that, right?
But I get scared about what you don't see more than what you do see.
I get scared by both.
See, I'm the opposite.
Because I'm not like, if I don't see something, like, I'm not afraid of it. Like, that's why I've never been afraid of the dark, because even as a kid I was never afraid of the dark because I didn't see anything in the dark. You know what I mean? I've always been more afraid of things that I see.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, I can't admit that I never once ever thought of, you know, the fact that my foot was hanging off the edge of the bed that wasn't going to get grabbed or some shit. Like, that always came in the back of my mind as a kid, man. I still every once in a while, man, like, I'll be in my house by myself and, like, I'm constantly watching these fucking movies. I've just completely polluted my mind. But you don't realize sometimes until you're in the situation it actually is kind of scary. Like, I've been out in the bush camping and everyone's gone to bed and I'm sitting there and all of a sudden I get this weird feeling. I'm like, I watched too many of these fucking movies, man. It affects me, man. As a kid, I was the same way. I used to get terrified as a kid. But it's all because of this shit, man. It's all because of this shit. Do you
want to get into ratings on Grave Encounters 2?
All right.
I believe I'm next. So Grave Encounters 2, I actually like more than the original. I think that it is a much cooler story. It really expands upon it's an actual sequel. Like, it takes a ton of information from the first one and expands on a lot of it. I like the shift of making it as if the first film was a movie and this is like real life. I like that. That's like Blair Witch. This is actually very similar to the other Blair Witch too, the one that just came out. But, you know, it kind of did it better a little bit. You know what I mean?
So much better.
There's a lot of, well, I know you definitely would say that, but you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of similar. I wouldn't be surprised if Adam Wingard had seen this film, because there's a lot of, like, with the aging and stuff like that, that's all in this movie, and it was also in Blair Witch, with like how the characters, the sense of time and stuff, you know what I mean? Like, it's very similar in that way. Like, even the one dude like got all bearded and stuff like this dude. Yeah, I really like just totally dug the concept of this, and even the end with like the red door and like all that stuff and the reason for this happening and the final scene, the final after scene of, you know, what's going on and stuff. Like, I really like that. Like, this dude, like, all of a sudden it's in like the desert. I was like, what? Like, that was fucking awkward. But yeah, man, totally dug this movie. I was not expecting much out of it at all. I'm coming in at an 8 out of 10 on this one.
Yeah, man, I know. I always heard ill about this film. I don't know what it is. I always heard people say, "Oh, Grave Encounters is great. Don't bother watching the sequel." I mean, I'm wondering if we watch the same film.
Yeah.
Like really, like, what the fuck? I don't get it, man. So honestly, I didn't really have high hopes going into this one either. I had not watched it, and for those kind of reasons. Sometimes people just influence you enough, you know. It's like, plus it was a sequel, you know, so sometimes, you know, your intuition might even be correct on it. Most of the time you are. But no, this one was really good. I 100% agree about the mythology growing in this. I thought it was great. I thought some of the effects was kind of the biggest problem for me. But I had some laughs in this one. I got scared at times, man. Like, legitimately, it was fucking fun, man. It was just like an overall fun ass film. And what I was worried about the most when I was watching this film was the ending. I was like, are they gonna fuck this ending up or what? And it really kind of sold the whole film for me, because when the end happened, I was like, oh, that's awesome. That's fucking totally gnarly. So it really kind of, you know, brought it back up for myself. Yeah, this is good, man. I think I'm pretty much on the same page as JP, man. I might even like this one a little bit more too, with the exception of some of the effects were just whatever. But there was also a really damn cool kill in here that I thought was terrifying. Just the way it happened. Because, I mean, whole heights thing, I don't know, man. I'm going to give it an 8.5. I'm coming up with a half point on this one, so.
8.5. So, Grave Encounters 2. I have to give the film credit that, you know, it's a very original idea. And I think that I watched it when this first came out, and one of my professors when I was in film school loved these bizarre films, interesting ways to tell stories in films. That's why he loved Paranormal, the Marked One, so much, because it's a very interesting way that film goes back to the first film. And this movie has a very similar sense in the way that it's written, and I give him credit in that in that sense, that it's a very interesting, structured film. Just the idea that the sequel of a film is trying to disprove that the film that it's based off of is not real, or is it real or is it not real. It's just a really interesting idea. It's very meta, like I said. I don't think I was as scared in this one as I was the last one, but it's still a really interesting film, and I enjoyed it. I think I liked it more than I did during my first viewing. I mean, I don't like it as much as the original, but I still had a really, really good time with it. I think it's one that you should check out if you like something different. It's definitely, I think, a piece of its age with YouTube and everything like that. So I'm going to come in with a 7.5 for Grave Encounters 2.
Q. I really liked, actually, even in this film where, you know, the bathroom scene, man, the fucking bathtub was like identical spot.
Yep.
You know, one thing.
Yeah.
You know, one thing I always wondered. You know, like
continuity. I bet you because they never fucking moved it in a year. Nobody else went in there.
Probably.
So
not.
it was like at the same spot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
it was really cool that they were able to go back to the same location. That was dope.
Yeah, man. That's what. Yeah, that was awesome. You know.
Yeah.
Combined with that storyline, fuck, dude.
I'm actually very glad that Jeremy picked these titles, because they probably would have been nowhere near my radar anytime soon. But like, I thoroughly enjoyed both.
Talked
films.
about the first one all the time for a reason, you know.
Did you notice in Alex's bedroom his tourist trap poster?
Yeah.
But did you notice?
Yeah, there was another.
Did you notice the other
for something?
Yeah, it was in the.
I can't remember.
It's Vampire Journals.
Yeah, that's what it is. Because I was like, what in the hell?
It instantly made me think of you, JP.
Yeah.
Don't you have like 4 copies?
I was like, I own 4
fucking
copies and don't even have a Vampire Journals poster.
You're the only person in the world that has more than 1 copy of that.
Why do they have a Vampire Journals poster?
I have no idea. It made me laugh. I'm like, right next to Tourist Trap? I mean, that's bizarre. So bizarre. Kinda liked it, though. It's good shit. But I always wonder, man, like, you know, even going back to the first one, why is it that when you watch these type of abandoned hospital films and shit, why is like things like bathtubs turned over on its side? Like, when you go in there, is it just for effect, or like, do you think people are in there and they're cleaning up and they're just like, I'm gonna tilt this bathtub over? That thing weighs like 2,000 pounds. I don't know. I have no idea. All the stupid questions, right? But yeah, that's going to do it for episode 111 here on 22 Shots. Yeah, that was good shit, man. Good shit. I'm actually kind of excited that you picked those, because I don't know, man. Say with JP, I don't know if I would have watched Grave Encounters 2 anytime soon. So I'm kind of glad I did.
Finally, something good.
I'm going to try to do It next show, but we don't know for sure. If not, we'll have a backup plan, I guess. Maybe we could just review the first one or something.
Or we could do the Gene Roland show.
Nah. It'll be like half a show. It'll be like half a show without that. Jeremy, stop fucking hating. Jesus
without
Christ.
what?
Without the remake.
Well, I mean, it's fucking a 3-hour movie.
Fuck, man.
We used to all the time do one films.
I know, but maybe I'll get it. Why don't we just come up with a backup plan and pick a deucer?
Because the problem is if I'm gonna watch it, the original, like this week. You know what I mean? Like, because I'm not. Tomorrow's the only off day I have left, so I'd have to watch it now. You know what I mean? And if I had to, well, actually, no.
So what you're saying is we have to plan these shows around your schedule.
Not during the week.
No, I mean, I'm just saying, like, if
you know what, I'm not going to worry too much about this.
Scheduled, I thought the way that I was thinking of it in my head was I wouldn't have had time to do a backup plan. Is what I was saying.
I'm not going to worry too much about this. You guys have
all right. Thank you, everybody, for listening to episode 111 of the 22 Shots of Moods and Horror podcast. As always, if you want to follow the man Moods himself, you can do so at youtube.com/Moods616. You guys want to add anything else?
Why do you sound far away again?
I'm literally
and why
right
are you cutting me off when I'm talking? I was just going to say, JP, I think you convinced me that I'll be getting it. So yeah. I don't think we have to worry about that. So
okay.
Find out probably in 2 days. Nothing else to say. Let's get out of here.
And as always, if you want to follow the man JP himself, who still shouldn't get his box set. And where the fuck are your videos, JP? YouTube.com/doubleshotj. You get back on that shit. As always, you can follow me on my channel. I'm not any better, but youtube.com/NESRuler22. As always, please follow us on our Patreon. Patreon.com/22shots podcast. And as always, you can leave us email at the 22 shots of moods and horror at gmail.com. It's 22 shots of moods and the horror at gmail.com. And as always, you can leave us a voicemail at 724-426-6665. But that's really pointless because we're not going to listen to it anyway because JP's a lazy fuck and doesn't want to fix it. And as always, you can follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/22 shots podcast. And as always, please join us on the Facebook page, facebook.com, search bar 22 Shots Podcast, or 22 Shots of Moods and Horror. It'll still come up. Join the Facebook page. Everybody come in there. Call Jerry a fucker and blame him for killing Tobe Hooper as well, just like how he killed George. And as always, that should do it for episode 111 of the 22 Shots of Moods and Horror podcast. We shall be back in 2 weeks with the double feature review of It and It. Another remake versus original show. Stay tuned for that. Thank you, everybody, for listening to episode 111 of the 22 Shots of Moods and Horror. And coming back in 2 weeks, the Hall Fucker will make his triumph return.